Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, a twice-a-week all-sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, TJ, and I'm always joined by two amazing co-hosts, or I'd say at least one amazing co-host and one fantastic guest. I don't know if we can give Son X the title of co-host just quite yet, but I'm here, as always, and joined by the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And also with us is reoccurring guest on the show, the fantastic, the marvelous Son X. How are you doing, Son X?
Doing well. Excited for the show. How are y'all doing?
Not bad. Obviously, the New York Islanders playing some more late game heroics per the usual, and Tristan Jarry finding a way to try to choke away any chance that the Pittsburgh Penguins have of winning games.
Well, I guess he finally realized that the money went through to his Swiss bank account, so he could let that goal in at the end. Here's the thing. What I say about that guy. Two goals in the final 5 minutes of the game. Doesn't matter. If Pittsburgh was up by 5 goals, he would have given up 5 goals in the last 5 minutes. That's just who he is. He sucks.
He's miserable. He is absolutely atrocious. But hey, the Islanders get at least a loser point tonight at a game where they were thoroughly dominated. Another game where you play a team that, and Pittsburgh is good. They don't have any goaltending, but they thoroughly dominated us tonight, and we might come away with 2 points.
This is like the other 2 Pittsburgh games that we played this year. Yep. Same thing, same exact thing. Thoroughly dominated.
That being said, though, it's okay. Grumpy, finish that point because
their poor goaltending is why the Islanders win games.
Yes, but not an Islanders podcast. No. For those of you who are new to the channel, this is a twice a week, again, as I mentioned, all sports podcast. We talk anything and everything sports. We talk NHL, as we've already jumped into. We talk NFL, MLB. We talk college athletics. We talk world football. We talk anything and everything sports. MLB, NBA, right? NBA playoffs are on the horizon. MLB season's about to start. The NHL playoffs are right on the horizon as well. So there's a lot coming at us hot and heavy. The NFL draft is getting close. Free agency is getting close. There's a lot that's coming. There's a lot that's coming in a short time frame. So if you're new to the channel, we invite you to stick around a while. We invite you to subscribe on YouTube, to like on Facebook, and to follow on Twitter. Again, a twice a week all sports podcast that takes place every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, we've got a few things to talk about. Number one, the New York Jets apparently are close and closing in on a potential deal with Aaron Rodgers. The New York Giants have signed back Daniel Jones to a 4-year, $160 million contract. There are murmurs and rumbling that possibly Tom Brady might not have called it quits. We also have Michael Irvin, right, Grumpy? You got Michael Irvin. Remember how he was suspended before the Super Bowl and not allowed to comment on it. But hey, we've got the video that was leaked and released there from that. Also, a little mix-up and an altercation between Jake Paul and his security, Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather and all of his cronies. Kyler Murray had some more news drop about him. Another teammate that thinks he needs to grow up a little bit. That seems to be a reoccurring trend. So a lot to talk about here today. MLB starting right around the corner. And there's a lot to talk about on today's show, Grump and X.
Yep. So exactly kick it off, TJ. Kick it off.
Yes. Let's talk first off about Aaron Rodgers, right? That is some of the biggest news that's breaking right now. It looks to be that the Jets and Rodgers are in serious talks. And it looks like, hey, Aaron Rodgers may sign with the New York Jets.
Okay, let's read the tweet
on that.
Let's read the tweet from. Let's read the tweet from Diana Rossini. In the wake of an extensive in-person meeting between Rodgers and the New York brass, including owner Woody Johnson, there's optimism in the Jets organization that they're on the brink of landing the future Hall of Fame quarterback, and supposedly they're really, really close. A lot of people thought it would already be done today. What do you think they need to give up to get Rodgers?
I'm not sure. Grump. I mean,
second round pick? Maybe a second rounder, maybe.
More than that.
Yeah,
No
I
way.
think more than that.
No way.
It's going to be more than that.
Nope. I mean, and they might have to eat some money too. Remember, it's $50 million. I mean, I don't think the Jets want to take that on. He's out of Green Bay. He's done in Green Bay.
I think so
you know how you know that? He's done in Green Bay because if he wanted to stay in Green Bay, he wouldn't have taken the meeting with the Jets.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
My thing is the Jets have all the leverage in this as well. I mean, what's the difference if they get him or not? I mean, if they decide, no, we don't want him, he just sits at Green Bay then.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He wants out. They want him gone. It will happen. He'll be gone. And the Packers will have a $40 million dead cap hit to go into the season.
The Packers are in rebuild mode, though. So
Okay.
I mean, without Aaron Rodgers, right, you assume you're in rebuild mode, no?
Well, I mean, they made the playoffs last year. They were had the best record in the NFC the year before. I mean, I don't know. I guess
Jordan Love is the answer.
I don't know. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out, right? But what does this mean for the Jets? Let's say Aaron Rodgers decides, because he's a wacko, right? Let's be honest, right? He likes to go on the Pat McAfee show. That tells you all you need to know about him.
Fucking stop.
So, but let's say he says, nope, sorry, Jets, I don't want to go play for you. What do the Jets do?
Draft.
Why? Okay, why would he?
No.
Hold on. Why do you mean? Why would he not want to join with the Jets if he's having these extensive meetings? Why would he back out of that potential? This again being reported that it's very close to a done deal. You think that he's going to pull out of the Jets, or he's going to start conversations with a new team. There's going to be a better at the 11th hour that's going to steal him away. Is that what you think?
I think Grump's saying that this is a publicity stunt by Aaron Rodgers to boost his ego.
No. No, what I'm saying is, let's say he decides, nah, you know what? I don't want to play. Now, here's the thing. I think he is going to land with the Jets. But let's say he doesn't. Where does that leave the Jets? I mean, they were looking hard.
That is so small, though.
Okay. But until it's done, it's not done, right? They were hot after Derek Carr. They told him he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer if he came to play for the Jets.
Now he's with the Saints.
I mean, now he's with the Saints, right? You see Daniel Jones making ridiculous money for what his skill set is. Do you think they take a shot at Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson is no team, right? The teams that were so quarterback hungry, like the Panthers, right? The Panthers are quarterback hungry. You've got teams like the Saints before they signed Carr were quarterback hungry. There's so many of these quarterback hungry teams. Nobody offered a contract on Lamar Jackson. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You know
what I think?
What, Grant?
I think there's collusion with the NFL owners. Absolutely. I think here's what I think happened. They're all so pissed that Jimmy Haslam in Cleveland gave that fully guaranteed deal to Deshaun Watson. That's just totally upset the apple cart in the NFL because now, and if you look at Lamar Jackson, he's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, he wants guaranteed money.
Don't blame him.
Baltimore doesn't want to give it.
Hold on. Back this up. Just to make sure. You said Deshaun Watson was a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, correct?
No, Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes. Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback and a better football player than Deshaun Watson.
No.
What's Deshaun Watson ever won? Has he ever won a division title?
Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Please, come on. Please. Last year was his first. I think it's unjust to say I'm just going to look at what last year's performance looked like from week 11 on or whatever the hell he was eligible to play. I mean, remember how many of these guys look slow out of the gate because, hey, I'm starting and these are my preseason games and they look slow out of the gate. Grump, no. Lamar Jackson, nobody, you think it's some big collusionary item that everybody won't bid on Lamar Jackson, but
how many MVP trophies does Deshaun Watson have, TJ?
Was that?
How many MVP trophies does Deshaun Watson have?
Hold on. So
Zero.
How many MVP trophies does Cam Newton have?
One.
He's one.
Is Cam Newton better than Phillip Rivers as a quarterback? throughout his career. Philip Rivers
He
never had
went
an MVP
further in the
trophy.
playoffs than Philip Rivers ever did.
Never won shit. Cam Newton
He
never
did
won.
Phillip
Just like
Rivers.
Philip
Phillip
never won.
Rivers.
My point, both of them never won, but Philip Rivers is a much better quarterback than Cam Newton. Just because you have 1 year, and a lot of the quarterbacks that are run-centric have one extremely dominant year and not much after that.
But Deshaun Watson hasn't even had one extremely dominant year.
Deshaun Watson is damn good and consistent. I don't know what you're talking about. And Deshaun Watson's not a scat back. He's not a running back there. He's an extremely proficient quarterback.
But his teams never scored a whole lot of points. They
You're
never
making
scored a whole
both
lot of
Deshaun
points.
Watson stats, and I think you're going to be shocked by it. Give me a sec.
They didn't score a whole lot of points.
Deshaun Watson in 2020 threw for 4,800 passing yards with a 70% completion percentage with 33 passing touchdowns and 7 picks. You're dead wrong. Flat out wrong.
What did he do after that?
You forget. He spent a year and a half on freaking I'm not able to play because of my off the field ridiculous freaking behavior. Because he doesn't act like because he did not conduct himself in a professional manner off the field. He spent the year after that not being able to play. And this year he played, like 6 games? He played 6 games this year. Okay, he led the NFL in passing yards in 2020 with a 70% completion percentage. Holy shit. That's not fantastic quarterback to you. 33 touchdowns and 7 picks.
And they were 4-12. And the team was 4-12.
He doesn't control what the defense does.
What did he do? So, in other words,
the year before that, he threw for 30. Okay, he's had 4 seasons. Okay, think about this. 3 years where he's thrown for more than 3,800 passing yards. Lamar Jackson's never thrown.
I could care less about passing yards. You keep on talking
about passing yards, touchdowns, and success.
Passing yards mean nothing. What's a team's record what is their record when he's the quarterback? What's the Ravens' record with Lamar Jackson?
Total record for Deshaun Watson is 31-28 as a starting quarterback.
Okay. What's Deshaun Watson's record?
You mean Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Give me a second.
I'm just saying Lamar Jackson. Here's the thing. You never hear anyone say anything negative about Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have those type of problems off the field.
Oh, I'm not questioning Lamar Jackson's character. Sure. I'm sure Lamar Jackson's a much better person than Deshaun Watson.
Well, that means
I know Lamar Jackson did some he made some questionable tweets at people. I think they were I'm trying to remember. It was either homophobic or it was, and again, there's too much of this stuff to keep track of, but I remember he made some questionable tweets, but it's nowhere near, it pales in comparison to what Deshaun Watson has done or how he's conducted himself off the field. But yes, Lamar Jackson's record as a starting quarterback is 45-16.
So way better, right?
Okay. They're both young into their NFL careers. They're both, what are they? They're both 25, 27 years old. Long way to go. Long way to go in their career.
Long story short, I don't know how this game turned into this, but the NFL owners are pissed about, that's the one thing, they don't want to give players guaranteed contracts, period. That's like the line in the sand that the NFL owners are drawing always. No guaranteed contracts, because then they're responsible to pay guys even if they're hurt or, nursing some type of injury. They got to pay them full time. They can't cut them. There's no way that the NFL owners are giving that up. No way. They'd rather have the salary cap go up than have guaranteed contracts. And I think they're all pissed at Haslam for doing that. So now Lamar Jackson goes and says, you know what? I'm just as good, if not better than this guy, and I deserve fully guaranteed salary as well. That's the way he looks at it. I don't blame him. I'm just stunned that you see 8 or 9 teams have already, oh no, we're not interested in Lamar Jackson. Really? He's one day
a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback.
Look at the teams.
Daniel Jones is.
Atlanta.
Daniel Jones blows too.
But he's getting money.
You're trying to tell me
the Giants are just dumb. A lot of these New York sports franchises are the stupidest fucking franchises that are run. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, Grumpy. Finish your point, though, because I don't want to take this somewhere else.
So you're trying to tell me that you think that Daniel Jones and his ridiculous contract that he got, I'd rather pay an extra $10 million a year and get Lamar Jackson.
I think Daniel Jones' contract was a freaking abomination. It's one of the stupidest things the Giants could have ever done. It was so unbelievably dumb. Daniel Jones is a miserable quarterback and a fucking average quarterback at best. He's a journeyman. He could what Daniel Jones, when he goes to bed at night, he dreams of maybe I could be as good as Alex Smith. That's what he dreams of at night, and that's not good enough to win a Super Bowl. I thought that was a stupid and abhorrent contract by Giants. Awful.
Okay. Bottom line, look at the teams who said no to him so far. Atlanta Falcons, they don't have a quarterback. Carolina Panthers, they don't have a quarterback. New England Patriots, who's better, Mac Jones or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson's better.
Okay, they're out. Miami Dolphins, out. They'd rather bring Brady in.
Brady! Yeah, let's not jump to there.
Yeah, we'll wait on that.
Right? All these teams that need quarterbacks. The Raiders, we're out on him. The Raiders, you don't have a quarterback. I'm baffled that all these teams are coming out publicly and saying, we're not in on Lamar Jackson. I believe there's collusion between the owners saying, we're drawing a line saying he wants guaranteed contract. We're not giving it to him long-term like the other guy did in Cleveland.
If that was Justin Herbert asking for a guaranteed contract, you think teams would be lining up at the door? Yes. Because he can actually throw the football.
Okay.
He can actually throw the football. If that was Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes and they wanted to give him he wanted a fully guaranteed contract, guess what? People are going, ding dong, ding dong. Hey, how can I offer you this fully guaranteed contract? We want you on our team because you could actually throw the football.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes should get a fully guaranteed deal.
The only guy in the whole league who's ever gotten a fully guaranteed contract is Deshaun Watson.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Mahomes
they don't want to give out fully guaranteed contracts. That's the line in the sand for the owners.
Jesus Christ. You're not understanding.
The owners do not want to guarantee paying players. They don't want to do it. They're never going to do that. Never. One guy broke the rule. One guy. And now you look at the chaos in the quarterback market ever since he was traded and given that contract. Chaos in the quarterback position. It's chaos at the quarterback position.
How so? We've saw more quarterbacks move these last 3 years. We've seen more deals. We've seen more quarterbacks move these last 3 years than we've had in years.
These last 2 years. Since Deshaun Watson signed that deal. That's when it happened.
Okay, dude. Grump. When Brady moved, think about all the craziness when Brady moved there from New England to Tampa. There was a lot of movement at the quarterback position that year too. You're wrong. You just don't remember, I guess. The last 2 years have been unbelievable movement in the quarterback position, and the salaries have just jumped through the roof. Jumped through the freaking roof because of that contract to Watson. Look at right after that, Murray signs that big contract extension. Think about it. It was a contract to Mahomes. Mahomes still gets paid more than any other quarterback in the league.
He makes $45 million.
40 plus million a year.
45 million. Okay, so what? But here's the thing. Mahomes is top level.
Yeah,
when you give a guy like Watson.
Yeah, he's definitely the best quarterback.
When you give a guy like Watson, who's top 10 for certain, when you give him a ridiculous contract like that, everybody else says, hey, I deserve this money too. This guy's never won anything, never done anything, fully guaranteed. That's what I want.
Popping it up. X, I'm sorry. What point did you want to make as I pop this up on screen?
I don't remember. I think I was just saying that quarterbacks are now getting paid a lot more than they used to 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah. And again, I think it all started. I'm sorry. Mahomes doesn't have the largest contract in the league.
Not anymore.
At that time, that 10-year contract, that 10-year $450 million, that was the largest contract. And now it's like everybody else is blowing that one out of the water. Deshaun Watson doesn't even get paid the most in the NFL. It's Kyler Murray, third highest paid QB.
He did it at the time.
He's making more than Mahomes, and he's not even close to the same quarterback Mahomes is.
Yeah, I think Mahomes is a better quarterback than Watson.
You realize as soon as Watson got that deal, Murray got his deal, Wilson got his deal, and Rodgers got his deal. You want to know why? They all said, we're better than this guy. And that's why they all got those huge contract extensions. Murray was right after him, and they just give him a tick above Watson. Then Wilson gets traded. He gets the big contract extension. And the same thing with Rodgers. He gets the contract extension. And then you look at underneath, right? Dak Prescott gets a big contract extension. Daniel Jones, Derek Carr. Look at the money these guys are making.
All quarterbacks have been making more money every fucking year. Has nothing to do with Deshaun Watson signing a contract. And everybody said, oh, Deshaun Watson, let's just raise everybody's pay. All these quarterbacks continue to get paid more and more and more every year. It's the most important position in the sport, and that's the most popular sport in the United States.
Okay.
So, it's...
You realize 7 of the top 10 contracts have been signed within the last year. 7 of the top 10 have been signed within the last year.
And if we look at all the ones at the bottom, I bet you I'm going to go out on a limb and say these were all signed a while ago, or they're on rookie deals.
It all started with the Watson contract. That jacked the price up. It was so ridiculous that jacked the price up because everybody says we're better than him.
It all started with the Mahomes contract. That was the first big one, right? That's what we really want to
see. Mahomes signed that contract 2 years ago?
He at the time period was the highest paid QB. Yeah. And everything ever since then, it just kept going up and up.
But he signed that contract 2 years ago. It's the Watson contract because all these other contracts have been signed within 7 of the 10 have been signed within the last year since Watson's deal. That's when all these contracts.
Stafford was signed.
I didn't include Stafford.
Josh Allen was signed before that deal.
I didn't include him either.
So
Prescott, Jones, Carr, Rodgers, Wilson, Murray.
Listen to me though. Watson's deal, right? These quarterbacks cannot control when they become unrestricted free agents or when their contract expires. So what's your point, dude?
My point is when you give a quarterback who's not that great and you give him that much money, it elevates everybody else. And the guaranteed money. Daniel Jones only has $82 million guaranteed. So in essence, it's a 2-year deal with the Giants, right?
Oh, it's a 4-year deal, $160 million.
Yeah, but only $82 million is guaranteed. They didn't give him $160 million guaranteed. The NFL owners won't do that. One guy did, and it upset the whole apple cart. That's why you're seeing salaries like this.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Has nothing to do with the fact that players just continue to get paid more and more, and the cap goes up. Has nothing to do with that. Okay. It has nothing to do with the fact that quarterbacks getting paid more with the cap going up.
What did the Christian Kirk contract do in Jacksonville? It made all the wide receiver contracts go through the roof because they're like, we're better than him. We deserve more money than him.
Okay, listen to me. All the wide receivers. No, you're not understanding.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
Cool. So don't listen to my point and just keep saying you don't get it, or just go ahead and tune me out. That's fine, Grumpy. Here's the thing. Wide receivers now. What are we seeing with wideouts now?
25 million.
If your team is unwilling to pay because wide receivers, all contracts between quarterbacks, wideouts, and all positions get paid more and more, teams are just trading you after the first contract. It's that simple. And they're saying, we're just going to get a draft pick. Look what happened with A.J. Brown in Tennessee. Yeah, no, we're not going to give you that contract extension that you want. So we're just going to try it with Treylon Burks. That's what's happening over and over again.
Why did they do that? Because Christian Kirk reset the market. A number 2 wide receiver making $21 million a year. All the number ones go, I deserve more money than him. That's why they get moved.
Wide receivers are getting paid more money now.
Because
all players are getting paid.
Market.
The salary cap increases, and that's what happens.
No, when you have a guy who's a lesser player, gets a record deal, everybody else who's better gets more money than him. They reset the market. When Jacksonville signed that $21 million a year, it reset the wide receiver market. Christian Kirk is a number 2 wide receiver. That's what he was in Arizona. He got paid wide receiver 1 money, and all these other guys say, we're better than Christian Kirk. All of a sudden, you see wide receiver salaries go through the roof. The same thing happened with Deshaun Watson.
He's not getting paid $21 million. It's a 4-year, $72 million contract, Grumpy. So we're very wrong on that one. He's getting paid in the teens.
$18 million. Okay,
$18 million. Okay. That's a big difference.
He's a number 2 wide receiver. Okay, you realize the best Jacoby Myers. They're saying that he's going to get anywhere between $14 and $16 million as a wide receiver. He's a possession guy. His value isn't worth that. But when you see Christian Kirk get that type of money, it inflates. A high tide lifts all boats. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so like when we're talking about Tyreek Hill making $30 million, it has nothing to do with the fact that, hey, the cap just continues to increase. That has nothing to do with it.
No, it's when a lesser player gets a whole lot of money. That means that whoever, DeAndre Hopkins, if he comes up for a contract, just throw any number 1 wide receiver. I guarantee I'm making more than $18 million.
DeAndre Hopkins signed his contract back in 2020, and he still makes an average contract of $27.25 million a year.
Okay.
As a
Just name a
receptor, he's
number one
the third
wide
highest
receiver.
paid wide receiver out there.
Just name a number one wide receiver who's going to come
Cup.
out.
Cooper Kupp.
I don't know how much money he makes now.
I
But
can
what I'm
pull it
saying
up.
is
I've
the
already
guy
got
who's
it right
coming
here.
up for a contract, he's going to go, there's no way I'm taking less money than Christian Kirk.
Oh my God, Christian Kirk is not even Christian. Do you want
But
to
he
know where
reset
Christian
the
Kirk is
market.
paid?
He reset the market.
You're wrong.
He's a number two, and when you get that much money, number twos are getting that money, which means number ones get a lot more.
Well, let's just take a look where Christian Kirk lies on this, Grumpy. Tell me when you see his name.
TJ, I just have one question for you.
Go ahead.
What's your reasoning as to why then the Panthers and the Falcons wouldn't go after Lamar Jackson?
I think they look at him and they say, yeah, this guy's not the answer.
Okay, but what's their other option, though?
Getting through the draft.
You passed him long ago. You've passed him
Going through the draft. That's the only option they've got.
And you really think that the top quarterbacks are still going to be left?
You passed him. You got to go further up. There he is.
Okay, Christian Kirk here is not even top 15. Was he top 15?
He's a number two wide receiver who's paid like a number one.
What are his stats?
But look at the contracts that came after him. Look at the contracts that came after him. A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, Chris Godwin.
Hold on. 1,100 receiving yards is number two wide receiver now?
He's a number. Yes, it is. Justin Jefferson over 2,000 yards last year receiving.
Okay, Justin Jefferson's also the best wideout. Okay. But again, like I want to get back to X's point before you continue to try to monopolize conversation, Grump. Like, what were you asking there, X? I'm sorry.
No, I was just asking what's your reasoning behind the Panthers and the Saints not going after Lamar Jackson? You said to go into the draft, but do you really think that a top-end quarterback in the draft is going to be available at those picks?
It's kind of like this. I think the same way when they see a guy like out there and they say Baker Mayfield, right? Baker Mayfield's a better option than some quarterbacks out there, but he's not a guy that's going to win you Super Bowl. Why the hell would I bother wasting time, money, and resources continuing to be on the treadmill of mediocrity by signing a guy like Baker Mayfield?
But then you're just going to be in the same boat you are year after year. I'm just talking the
bottom out.
And the Panthers, and year after year, getting a quarterback in the draft that sits on the bench, doesn't play, and then doesn't end up panning out.
The sad truth of it is you have to bottom out. You have to be one of the bottom 5 teams in the NFL to get a real quarterback unless somebody falls to you. Patrick Mahomes falling to you in the teens doesn't happen that, or wherever the hell he was selected. He was like outside the top 10. Quarterbacks usually like that don't fall to you. You've really got to be shitty in order to get a top-tier QB.
So then why would you not go after somebody like Lamar Jackson and maybe get some pieces around him?
Lamar Jackson is not a great quarterback.
Oh, my God. He's better than anything either one of those teams have by a landslide. He's a former MVP. He's a great football player. You just keep poo-pooing Lamar Jackson. I mean, look at the winning percentage. All the guy does is win. That's all he does, win.
See, it says a lot more about the coach than it does about the QB.
No, it doesn't, because the coach is an asshole. The coach loses them games.
And he never wins them. He never wins them any games, huh?
No, coaches don't win games. Players do. Coaches lose them.
Okay.
John Harbaugh is a perfect example. How many times you go for it 4th and goal when a field goal tied the game, he winds up losing, or going for a 2-point conversion and maybe not getting it.
Maybe they saw a guy last year who was, they said the questionable, right? All the time. Maybe he could have come back and helped the team play and just didn't suit up. Maybe they saw that effort. Maybe, let me finish. Maybe they saw that effort and say, that's a guy who's not going to put his life on the line for the team.
Maybe they shouldn't have lowballed him in the salary. Maybe they shouldn't have just said, nope, we're going to give you a lowball salary. We're not giving you guaranteed money, where they've run him into the ground.
Maybe Lamar Jackson's maybe it's tough to work with and deal with Lamar Jackson.
It's not tough. He's his own agent. He doesn't even have an agent.
Gotcha.
You never hear anything
what he's asking is unreasonable.
Here it is. You're just trying to dream up some shit. You never heard anything negative about Lamar Jackson. Never.
I don't think he's a negative. I don't think
now you're saying he's tough to deal with. You just said so.
Tough to negotiate a contract with. Abso-fucking-lutely.
All he wants is guaranteed money.
Okay. I want guaranteed money for a guy who's missed time the last 2 years with injury and only can run the football with his legs. I want to give him a really long, fully guaranteed contract.
Gets guaranteed money when he missed literally over half of last year. For
Deshaun Watson, simple. Keep your hands to yourself and don't act like a freaking idiot off the field. Don't go ahead and sexually. Don't go ahead and treat ladies incorrectly. That's an easy one to fix. Act like an adult.
Bottom line, Lamar Jackson is the Ravens' offense. He is their offense.
How did that offense look last year? Anemic, hideous.
Not when he's playing, they don't.
They looked awful. They're awful. Their offense was awful across the board.
They have a tight end. They have a tight end to throw the ball to.
That's it.
They
have a running back.
Last year they didn't. Dobbins was out. Edwards was out. It was Lamar Jackson. And that's the thing that pissed Jackson off because they're running him into the ground. How many times does he run the ball every year? Those are designed runs.
You stand back in the pocket and you say, uh-oh, I see a little bit of open space, and you run?
You realize their stuff is all designed runs, right? The vast majority. You don't run 200 times in a year just scrambling out of the pocket. Those are designed runs.
The guy, when he rolls out and sees nothing downfield, decides, I'm going to run with my legs, because that's his first reaction. His reaction is not to sit in a pocket and throw. I remember, I've watched Lamar Jackson since back when he played for freaking Louisville, Grump. Okay, being a University of Pittsburgh fan, I watched every single one of those games. The guy doesn't like to sit in the pocket and try to dissect the defense. As soon as he can roll out and he sees he's got options to move, he's going to use his fucking legs. That's what he does.
He does like to put up 70+ against UNC Charlotte, though. He does like to do that.
Yeah, he got taken out, I think, halfway through the game because they massacred Charlotte. But yeah, you're right. I mean, he's a great college quarterback. Won a Heisman. He's a quarterback
he was a unanimous NFL MVP. I just don't know how. I find it astounding that at $32 million, Daniel Jones makes more money than Lamar Jackson.
Guess what? He's not willing to sign. They weren't like they said, hey, Lamar, we'll give you a $32 million contract fully guaranteed for the next 4 years. That's not what he's looking for. He's looking for a long contract, all guaranteed, and he wants to be making more money than any other quarterback in the league. Guess what? He's not that fucking good.
I'd pay him.
Hey, Lamar Jackson, I'm willing to pay you $55 million a year fully guaranteed for the next 7 or 8.
You don't have to give him 55.
He wants to be the highest paid QB in the league. The highest paid QB in the league.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that.
Okay, gotcha.
You just saying that.
What do you think he's wanting to get paid?
They're lowballing him.
What do you think he wants to get paid?
Their last contract offer was 3 years and given him, I think it was $130 million total, but only $27 million guaranteed.
So 3 years, they wanted to give him $137 million, which made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
But that was $27 million guaranteed.
Stay healthy, but he can't do that.
Well, no, not when they're running you all the time.
He does that himself.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay,
you're wrong.
gotcha.
You never watch ball.
So what they do is they hike the ball and QB draw every time. Hike the ball, run, just Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Run.
I guess then what you're saying is if they run like an option, then he should just say, nope, I'm audible and out of this. I'm never running an option. I'm not running the ball back.
Guess what? He runs the option because he can't sit back there and throw the ball.
QB draws are called plays. You're aware of that, right?
I'm being facetious. He does not run QB draws all day. That is my point. I'm being facetious. They don't run 200 QB draws a year. It's read options because guess what? The guy can't sit back there in the pocket and throw the football.
There's nobody to throw the ball to.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
There's nobody to throw the ball to.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
They got Mark Andrews, and he was hurt half of last year.
I've seen players who've had nobody to throw the ball to be successful before. No. I've seen Tom Brady have nobody to throw the ball to and be successful. I've seen guys do
Tom Brady had the best tight end of all time on his team.
Okay, you're talking about
he's had years where he had really, really lean years where he had no weapons.
Yeah, but you're talking about a guy who's the greatest to ever play the position.
This guy's an MVP caliber quarterback, man. He should be able to freaking make freaking shit into gold.
You're a dumbass.
Water into wine.
What I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is, you can't. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but he's certainly a top 10 quarterback. You couldn't even come up with 10 quarterbacks better than Lamar Jackson on the last show. And believe me, you were scraping. You were scraping.
Kirk Cousins was in there.
I think Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
No, he's not.
Stop.
You guys you both think Lamar Jackson is better than Deshaun Watson, and that's comical at best.
All I know is he's been a league MVP, and he's a really good football player. I'm not saying that he's infallible, but what I'm saying is he's better than Deshaun Watson, and he's shown it on the field. I just value him a lot more highly than you do, and I'm just stunned that some of these teams in the NFL. How about Detroit? You think Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson?
I think he fits what they try to do more.
He sucks. He sucks. He absolutely sucks. He has so much talent out there that he's able to make it work. But he's not a great quarterback. Derek Carr, no way. No.
I think a lot of teams make really stupid decisions in the NFL. Simple. And I think that if a team were to offer him a big, long contract, it'd be stupid of them to do so. He was going to be offered, right, 3 years. You can't stay healthy when you're 25, or he's 25 years old. You can't stay healthy when you're 25, 26, and 27. You're too body.
You just don't know what's been going on in Baltimore. You just don't know.
I don't watch any of the Baltimore games, I guess.
You don't. You don't. You watch Kansas City games. That's what you
watch. All the games. I watch all the games. You're wrong. I watch all the games.
Baltimore, he was pissed off. He didn't like the fact that
he threw a little sissy party this year.
Because it's Lamar Jackson left, Lamar Jackson right, Lamar Jackson up the middle, and then when contract comes up, you don't want to pay him after he's sacrificed physically on the field. Those are just facts.
Like a guy here's the thing. Oh my God, we're going to have to move on from this because guess what? I'm never wrong about quarterbacks. Never have been, never will be because I know how it works. Right? Guess what? Here's another guy I won't be wrong about. Danny Dimes, right? 4 years, $160 million. One of the dumbest decisions that Giants franchise could have made. Awful decision. Guess what? Be ready to be on the treadmill of mediocrity for another 4+ years.
They can cut ties with him after 2. They can cut him after it's essentially a 2-year deal because it's $82 million guaranteed. It's front loaded. It's a 2-year deal in essence.
Okay.
So it's but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I would have had Lamar Jackson.
I'd rather have neither.
Yeah.
And I pick neither, none of the above.
You're delusional.
How many teams win with, right? You look at those Giants teams that won with Eli Manning. Eli, you
realize the league is changed.
Well, here's my thing.
How many good quarterbacks probably going to make the Hall of Fame?
How many good quarterbacks are still available for these teams to get?
Through the draft. That's the only way.
Everybody that's going to come out from the draft is just going to be phenomenal and better than Lamar Jackson?
No, they aren't. That's what makes it so tough. And that's why when you see these
why would you risk in the draft? Why would you not get somebody who's proven?
For example, the Bears, right? They had 2 years with Justin Fields. Guess what? He's not the answer. Hit, eject, and start over again with another quarterback because you're a shitty team. You can't go ahead and determine really quick. Is Justin Fields the answer?
The Browns draft
He's not.
Quarterback every year.
Okay, the Browns drafted quarterbacks around the 20s. They aren't drafting quarterbacks in the top 2, top 3.
Baker Mayfield
was the number 1 overall
pick.
Baker Mayfield's not the answer. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. It's a crapshoot.
When you
have no idea what you're going to get.
You have a much higher chance of success in that crapshoot drafting early than you do drafting a quarterback late.
How many top quarterbacks that have gone in the first round have actually panned out and been good?
More quarterbacks drafted early in the first round pan out than quarterbacks drafted in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, etc. It's just
why would you not? So you're saying you'd rather take a risk on getting a quarterback in the first round as opposed to getting somebody who's proven as a player. That's essentially what you're saying.
Yes, because guess what? I will take the chance and roll the dice on a guy who could be phenomenal because you need your quarterback to be phenomenal to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, let's say Carolina and Atlanta, their position they're in. Who would you get in the draft? That's available. That would be available.
They're not. Guess what? They didn't suck bad enough last year. That's the unfortunate truth of it.
So then why would you not?
They're in no man's land.
Why would you
no man's land? Lamar? Because Lamar isn't the answer either.
Okay, the 2021 draft, right? Super deep, great quarterbacks, a revolutionary time for quarterbacks, right? This is just what, 2-3 years ago?
Well, 2021 is
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. Those were the quarterbacks. Those were the big names.
So how many of those guys have panned out so far?
One.
Maybe one. I think Trevor Lawrence is
maybe one.
Because
Trevor Lawrence
he did it
is
for 1 year.
The answer. Come on.
You realize at the end of your 3rd year in the league, you have to say, okay, we're going to pick up a 5th-year option or not.
Yeah, for guys drafted in the first round.
Okay, so you have to be able to show it in 3 years. So we're going to say Trevor Lawrence is a yes then, right?
Yes.
Zach Wilson, number 2. No. Trey Lance, number 3.
Hard to say.
No. That's a no. Hard no.
He didn't play his first year and snapped his ankle, the second game of this year?
He wasn't good enough to play his first year. Was not good enough.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to put that one up to question.
That's a no. That's a no.
Big year this year for Trey Lance.
Justin Fields.
No.
Mac
Trey
Jones.
Lance won't even start this year. They're going to start Brock Purdy.
If Purdy even comes back in time for the season to start.
He's going to miss the first few weeks, X.
So you had 5 quarterbacks picked in the top 15, and there's only agreement that one guy.
One guaranteed. You may have the chance for 2. Trey Lance may pan out. We have no idea.
But so far,
he's played 2 games.
But he hasn't, right?
He has not played any games.
But let's be honest.
I've always said you can't bust a guy out based off of injury. You've always said that, Grump. Now you're changing the philosophy.
All I'm saying is that you can't. If you have to make a decision on a player after 3 years.
Correct. So they have this year to make that decision.
Right. So do you think that Trey Lance is all of a sudden going to set the world on fire?
Yeah. How many games has he played? How many games has he played in the last 4 years?
As a starter, like 1 or 2 games.
Because he didn't even play his last year.
College, he didn't play a game in 19 months.
Correct. And
you really think he's going to have
his leg? We have no idea about him. That's my point. Nobody has any idea. It's really tough to say what he can and can't do because nobody sees him play. I'm not willing to write him off. If he gets injured again this next year or he plays like shit, yeah, sure. Then he's officially a bust. But it's tough to say. I'm not going to jump to it until I see it.
But you're the guy who's saying, instead of taking a guy who's a proven talent, let's take a roll of the dice at a quarterback who might pan out, might not.
You see Lamar Jackson? If you're down 15 or 10 points in the fourth quarter, is Lamar Jackson leading you back to a game?
He's done that before. He's done that before. I don't understand how you're selling him so short. I don't get it.
I've already moved along from Lamar Jackson, but you're still fixated on it. So let's see if you can too. Let's talk. We're talking about Daniel Jones is what I was trying to talk about. But, I just think it's a ridiculous contract they're giving Daniel Jones.
I agree.
Yeah, well, it's too. Yeah, right. It is. But here's the thing. Brian Daboll helped Daniel Jones get as good as he could get. What were Daniel Jones' numbers this year?
They were shitty. Awful numbers.
And you don't think that Lamar Jackson could have put up better numbers than that with the Giants?
Back to Lamar Jackson. Do we need to still bring this back?
There were better options.
Absolutely. He agreed. He thought that was stupid. He thought Lamar Jackson would have been a better option, but he still doesn't think that Lamar Jackson is that option to get you a Super Bowl. That's what he's saying.
Thank you. Thank you, X. I keep telling him that, and he keeps.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
How many quarterbacks in league would you say are guys who can win you Super Bowl title?
9 guys. 9 or 8 guys are the only guys that could win you a Super Bowl. That's correct. And if you don't have one of those guys, freaking mail it in. You're not winning a Super Bowl.
But Lamar Jackson's a top 10 quarterback. And so he'd be in that top 10 then, right?
He's not a guy that can win you a Super Bowl.
Then I say there's not 9 guys.
Then maybe I overestimated then, Grump. There's not many guys that can win you a Super Bowl. Answer your question. Very
Josh
few.
Allen, Joe Burrow.
For example, I think Aaron Rodgers still might be in a conversation that can help you win a Super Bowl.
No. Can't even win a playoff game.
You'll see how bad that Green Bay team is without him. But Pat Mahomes, right? Pat Mahomes, maybe Jalen Hurts. The jury's he's still very young, right? So I give him maybe Jalen Hurts. Joe Burrow, I think, is a guy that you can maybe win a Super Bowl with. Yes. Josh Allen, probably you can win a Super Bowl with. I think so. Justin Herbert, I think you can win a Super Bowl with. Trevor Lawrence, potentially you can win a Super Bowl with.
The Chargers just lose.
Was that?
I said the Chargers just lose.
Matthew Stafford, you can win a Super Bowl with. We've seen that. Okay.
No, he won one with a loaded Rams team. They tried to shit the bed. No, for Matthew Stafford. He won his one Super Bowl. He's done.
Okay.
Agreed. I do not think Matt Stafford.
So then limit it down to 6 or 7 QBs can win the Super Bowl. Sure. Does that make you happy? Again, this is not a great time for QBs still. we had a time period of golden age of quarterbacks, right? Back during that time period where it was like, okay, we've got Eli, we've got Peyton at the height of their game, we've got Tom Brady, we've got guys like Phillip Rivers. The list of quarterbacks that could help you win a Super Bowl were much more. Ben Roethlisberger. There was a plenty of quarterbacks that could help you win
How many of them actually won Super Bowls over a 10-year period?
Could win, had the chance to win, and did are different.
Okay.
When Brady wins 7 Super Bowls over a time frame like that, not many other quarterbacks are going to get that. When you play against the greatest of all time, it's not like there's a lot of Super Bowls to go around when one guy wins 7 of them.
Well, I'm just
Grump ain't gonna argue with you on that.
All I'm saying is
the truth.
If you're seeing some of these teams that don't have an option at quarterback and they're willing to roll a dice on a Jimmy Garoppolo for basically the same money as Lamar Jackson, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to go somewhere.
What's the point of signing Jimmy Garoppolo?
There is no point. That's what I'm saying.
My point. He's the same. They're all the same. All these quarterbacks that are mid-tier and below are all the same.
If you're the Raiders,
all the same.
If you're the Raiders and you lose out on Aaron Rodgers, they're not going to be going with a rookie.
When you're the Vikings, right? Like, I think Kirk Cousins is an okay QB. Sometimes he does well, sometimes he doesn't. But guess what? The Minnesota Vikings are never winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. They can have Justin Fields. They can have Justin Jefferson. They can have Jamar Chase. They can have the next best, greatest running back in the history of the game. It does not matter. The Vikings are never winning a Super Bowl with freaking Kirk Cousins at quarterback. The sooner they realize that, the better the team franchise will be.
I disagree. If their defense was better enough, you can win with him with the talent they have around him. With the talent they have around him, you can win with Kirk Cousins. But the defense has to be really good. There's not a whole lot of room for error. That I'll agree with.
When you have a fantastic QB, you can win more.
Here's my thing. I mean, think about the Giants when they won with Eli Manning. Do you really think Eli Manning was the greatest quarterback ever? No, their defense was loaded.
It was their defense. You can at time, and if you get hot at the right time.
Yeah, the defense was fantastic, but I want to talk about, shifting topics. I want you to talk about Brady. Apparently, rumors and rumblings here in Indianapolis were that Tom Brady, don't count out Tom Brady. Maybe he might go to the Dolphins. I'll be back in a second, but I heard that's the rumor.
I heard something else. He put out, I think, a tweet or something where he was like, "No, I'm not coming back."
Well, he said something. Anyone who thinks that I'm playing in the NFL.
Planning your daughter's tea party or something.
No, doesn't know what it's like getting a 2-year-old kitten for their daughter.
That's a 2-year-old kitten. That was a 2-year-old kitten.
I'm sure he didn't write that, but X, what do you think? You think Brady's coming back or no?
I don't. But you can never count him out. I mean, it's the same thing with Brett Favre. Like, everybody thought Brett Favre was done, and then he came back and played. And I mean, I don't know. I would like to see him come back and play because I still think he has something left in the tank. I don't think he's completely finished, but I think he's moved on just based off of like the posts he makes on social media. I think he's moved on to a different chapter of his life.
I think he's moved on too, but he has a commercial with Hertz that just came out this week. And he grabs the phone from some girl, some lady who's going on vacation, and work calls her. And he says, "Hold on, give me the phone." He's like, "Hey, sometimes you just need to take a break." Do you think Brady sits out a year or a little bit of time, and then someone calls him desperate for a quarterback and he comes back? Or he comes back?
I'm not sure, because remember, he has that TV deal with Fox. So are you saying that he sits out a year, does the TV deal with Fox, and then comes back and plays in the NFL?
No, he's already said that he's not going to be taking the Fox
job. 2024. That's right.
Right. He's not taking the Fox job. I mean, do you think if someone said to him,
so he's no longer taking I did not hear that he's no longer taking the Fox job.
He's not taking it this year. He still has the contract, but he's not starting this year. So that means he's delaying it at least a year. Do you think he takes a year off and then goes to play football again? Remember, last year was really traumatic for him in his personal life. When the Harpy left him.
Yeah, the divorce and everything.
I mean, I'm playing for that miserable the clown show down in Tampa. You want to see a team that's going to be bad?
Here's something else. Who knows? Maybe Tua gets injured again midway through the year. Hey, Tom, we need you to come down here.
Well, he knows the owner. He knows a bunch of people in that organization. All went to Michigan. Wouldn't surprise me. TJ, have you seen the Hertz commercial with Tom Brady?
I have not. I
See
heard
if
you
you
talk
can pull it
about
up. See if you can pull it up.
Well, I've got something else I want to pull up there first because Grumpy loves these guys. You love Scott Zolak and Bertrand and all these other people. They agree that you cannot count him out. Hold on. Brady to play in Miami 100% is in play. Hold on. I'll let you listen to it.
Brady may go to Miami. I think that's in play. I do. I think the possibility of him coming out of retirement is definitely 100% in play. You can sit there and look at the kitten tweet from yesterday. Don't buy that. This isn't me saying it. This isn't someone close to Brady. Like, it started with Rich Eisen. Eisen's out the Super Bowl. Multiple people that dropped the hints. This is Colin Cowherd. He knows the Fox people. I don't think he's going to call games. How does that deal get done? How do you sign a guy to that? $375 million 10-year contract to call games. He's not even going to do it next year. I know his handlers have moved to Miami. It's built for him. He was looking at private schools for his kids. And Cowherd talks about the San Francisco offense. He's not talking about San Francisco. He's talking about Mike McDaniel in Miami.
So they do think that there is definitely a possibility, Grumpy, in play that he still may come back out of retirement.
Who would you rather have as a quarterback? Tua Tagovailoa or Tom Brady?
Obviously, Tom.
Tom
I
Brady.
mean, there's no way he's going to take a year off, though, to answer your question. I don't see him. You think he's going to come back and play at the age of what, 46 years old? Come on.
See, I think if he takes a year off, he ain't coming back. But I think that if he comes back, it would be this year. And maybe that's the reason why he wanted to hide it from everybody. Hey, I'm not going to do the announcing until not doing the announcing this year. I'm going to take off from doing the announcing completely. Maybe that's a way for him to get back in the league.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any commercial with Tom Brady and Jalen Hurts as a quick.
No.
It's Hurts.
It's Hurts commercial. Hurts car commercial.
Oh, God damn it. Are you talking? Hold on. This was done 9 months ago.
First, I never saw it until this weekend.
Okay, this was done 9 months ago. So,
Okay.
It's a little late on the news.
Yeah. So,
And he said, sometimes you just need a break. Okay.
I'll pull it up here. I'm showing this is from 9 months ago, and I'll make sure that you see this is correct, Grumpy, because he did a few commercials with Hurts. Are you talking about this one here? Charging, remember Boston, Tom Brady plus Hurts?
Yeah, I've seen that commercial before, the charging one.
Kids these days.
No, that's not the one.
We used to walk 15 miles in the snow every day with no shoes.
That's the one right there. That's it. Feeling it.
This is 9 months ago.
I don't think she's feeling it right now.
Be on my phone all week. Looks like somebody needs a little Hertz TLC.
Liv, you're on vacation, but I don't think you're feeling it.
Huh?
Please, your phone. It's okay.
I mean, how short are actors?
Yeah, you're good. Go enjoy yourself. Sam.
Tom Brady's also
You
pretty
feeling it
tall.
now?
Okay, hold on.
Let's go.
Everyone needs a break sometimes.
She's feeling it.
Yeah, 9 months ago, Grumpy.
Okay, my bad. It's
Anyway,
the first time I ever saw it. And I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting?
it's new to me news. That's how it
New to me.
goes.
Yep, new to me.
All righty, let's start getting through some of these comments because we want a freaking rampage out there. Joseph C says, looks more and more like the Jets are getting Rodgers. It's going to be like getting Favre all over again. But this time they hopefully make the playoffs.
I think that Rodgers is better than Favre.
Yes, at this point.
The Jets are ready to win, honestly. I think they get Rodgers. They're absolutely a playoff team and can beat anyone. I think the first year there would be good. And as long as things are going well, things start going bad, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to struggle with the New York press.
Yeah, I will
That's not
tell you
Aaron
that.
Rodgers.
No, this is Aaron Rodgers, Grump.
Rodgers.
Do you know who this is, Grumpy?
I don't know who that is.
I want you to take a few guesses.
I can't even hardly see it. I don't know who it is.
I'll zoom in. I want you to take a few guesses. Who
Is
this
he a football player?
Yes, he's a football player. Do you not know
If
who this
he's not
is?
wearing a helmet, I don't know who he is.
Grumpy, you don't know who this is. Take a guess. I need you to take a few guesses, and I want X to take a few guesses to who this
Drew
is.
Brees.
You're close, Grumpy. You're getting close.
No idea.
X, I want you to take a guess.
Jamarcus Russell. I have no idea.
We're on the right. We're getting closer now. Jamarcus
Just-
Russell did go through a big weight loss.
Just don't tell
He
me.
went
it's
through a
Fat
big
Boy.
weight loss. This player.
That's
he's
not
ready
Fat Boy, is it?
He's
Is that
ready to
Fat Boy?
come back and dominate the NFL after his season-ending injury. Mekhi Becton, Grumpy. This is Mekhi fucking Becton. Look at how great a shape he's in.
You know what?
Tony
Looks like he's
Cheese
not-
sent this to me, and he knew it was going to derail a podcast. That son of a bitch, Tony Cheese, sent it to me. And look at Mekhi Becton. He's looking
You know
great
what?
shape.
That looks like a phony head on top of somebody else's body.
It's Mekhi Becton, man.
Or
photoshopped.
he's not in shape to play offensive tackle.
He's in good shape.
He's too thin.
No, he's in good shape, man.
Okay. It's
Look
funny
at
what not picking up a guy's option will do for him getting in shape, isn't it?
This is what he used to look like
That's what he
at
still
the
looks like.
combine. No, it's not what he looks like. That's what he looked like at the combine. Look at him now.
I don't
He's
see a date on
lean
that
fighting
picture.
machine.
That's probably a baby picture.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's way too small to be an offensive lineman.
I think he's still over 300 pounds.
What then he must have lost. Then he must have been almost 500 pounds. if he's still over 300, he had to be 550, 600 pounds.
Hold on. Here's another picture of him, dude. He is in damn good shape. He is in freaking road grading shape. Look at this. This is from him a week ago on his Instagram. He's in good shape, ladies and gentlemen. He is ready to come back and freaking kill.
Okay, I'm going to let you know one thing. That picture and the picture you just showed us,
Two different
do not
guys.
look any bit the same at
Two
all.
different guys.
At all. He must have been sucking in his gut and doing something else in that
It was
first.
photoshopped. The body was photoshopped in.
This is 4 weeks ago. This is him 4 weeks ago. He's in good shape, guys. Really good shape. I don't know. I don't think he knows how to tie his shoes, but he's in really good shape. His shoes are untied, but really
He looks
good
fatter
shape.
in every single picture you put up.
No,
What was
this
this
is
from
going
last
further
night?
back. He's
I mean,
went through a cut. He was cutting some weight. He's in good shape, man.
He
I'm
looks like
excited.
every single picture you put up. 4 weeks ago, he weighed 300. Then 2 weeks ago, he weighed 350. Now he's back up to 4 bills.
He is skinny, man. He's in good shape. I'm excited. Mekhi Becton is not done. Mekhi Becton is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. Look at him. Look at him, Grumpy. I'm excited. You're not excited for him, Grump?
I just here's the thing. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna be like state of Missouri. Show me. You're gonna have to show me. Prove it to me, because I'm sorry. He's been a bust so far. Absolute
Hey,
bust.
injuries, man. Other
And
than
they
the
didn't-
injuries,
Well,
he's
here's the
been
thing. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option.
They probably are wishing, after looking at him in shape now, they're probably wishing they did.
They'll probably hurt some again. Remember, he's only like 3 biscuits away from being up over 4 bills again.
I was meaning to also ask, what were your thoughts about the Derek Carr move to the Saints?
Oh, yeah, that's right, too. That happened.
Meh, who cares?
I'll let you go, TJ.
I was about to say, this is like the Hail Mary. This is like we're throwing everything we have in the last iteration of this Saints team. Michael Thomas has now been banged up like 2 or 3 of the last 3 years, 2 very serious dislocated toe injuries the last 2 years in a row, both on opposite feet. Alvin Kamara probably going to be serving some sort of suspension after pummeling that man and saying, I beat his ass up or something like that, with some explicatives in there. This is like the last ditch effort, because Derek Carr only has a limited amount of time left and fun in the sun. So this is the Hail Mary.
Chris Olave's pretty good. So they picked him up.
Well,
here's the thing. The Saints are going to win division. Saints will win division.
Here's my thing, though. If he couldn't do it with Oakland, with having Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and Darren
Vegas.
Waller, I mean, that's what I meant, the Raiders, what makes you think he can do it with the Saints?
I think they're a much weaker division than the Raiders were. I mean, the Raiders, that's a tough division. We were talking about at the beginning of last year. It's like, okay, you got the Chargers who are good. We thought the Broncos were going to be good. We thought, Russell Wilson was going to have it. And you got the Chiefs. I mean, that's a really tough division. And now he's going to play the freaking the Carolina Pussycats and the Panthers. They're going to be playing the miserable Tampa Bay Buccaneers without Tom Brady.
The Succaneers.
The Succaneers. You're going to be playing against the miserable Falcons and the Saints. I mean, the Saints should be cruise control to winning that division.
And that's what I'm saying. If you look at one of those teams, you look at Atlanta, you look at Carolina, and you look at who's the other team in the division? I'm sorry, Tampa Bay. You give Lamar Jackson to any of those teams, they win division. They win division.
I think the Saints, even with Lamar Jackson on any of those teams, the Saints still are the best team in that division.
Yeah,
The Saints did not have a QB. Jameis Winston was miserable. Andy Dalton's miserable. No. And I think Derek Carr still has some left.
He's a journeyman. He is what he is.
He's more than a journeyman QB.
He's in the rotisserie league of suck.
No, he's in the tier where I'm good. I'm not mediocre, but I'm not great. The really unfortunate tier to be in.
I mean, I don't know. There's just so many teams with no quarterbacks that I find it interesting that they're saying they're out. We're not even going to even look at them, which tends to lead me to believe the owners are in this together.
Drew L said TJ's about to go full rah-rah angry mode over Daniel Jones's extension. Yes. You know what you've done, Drew L, just like the Islanders are? I was joking around with Phil. I said the New York Giants are the Islanders, or the Islanders are the New York Giants on skates. Same, vice versa. Both of these teams are synonymous. So when you see the Giants on the treadmill of mediocrity, the Islanders are going to be in the treadmill of mediocrity.
Giants are better than the Islanders.
They have the most important piece of the puzzle is missing. So I'm not so sure about that.
But their defense is pretty good, and they have a really good coach.
Drew L said, I guess TJ is secretly a Giants fan if he's going to get heated over Jones, but I think it's a bit of an overpay. But maybe $40 million is the new standard. I know the way the contract was structured. It is easily a 2-year deal of guaranteed.
Essentially a 2-year deal of
guaranteed money.
Right. True. Here's the thing. The Giants aren't that far away. They say you can have DeAndre Hopkins for like a 2nd-round pick.
Well, all players get DeAndre Hopkins. Didn't look great when coming back from that. When coming back from the performance enhancing drugs in Arizona. Do you blame that more on a QB or the wideout?
He was playing with a 3rd-string quarterback.
He played games there with Kyler Murray. He played games with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and he looked good when Kyler Murray was playing.
Some games good, some games not.
He put up good numbers last year for his limited time. When Murray went out and they had Colt McCoy and then whoever the 3rd-string quarterback was playing, his numbers went down. He's still a number 1 wide receiver, even at his age. But for a 2nd-round pick,
limited time left.
Okay, for a 2nd-round pick, if you're the Giants, why would you not throw a 2nd-round pick to get an established number 1 wide receiver? You don't have one now.
Sure, they can do that, but again, it's like they're not winning that division. The Giants are not good enough to win that division, right? They beating the Eagles out. Do you see them beating the Cowboys?
Eagles are going to lose a lot of guys to free agency list, both their offensive and defensive coordinators. I could absolutely see them coming back to the pack.
Okay. I'm not as bullish on the Giants, I guess, as some. Right? Usually you have a little bit of the sophomore slump. Usually have a little bit of a regression. You make the postseason and it's like, okay, I got a little bit of a regression. It's not like, oh, we made the postseason. We're flying straight to the moon or anything like that. Andrew L said, Mayfield has been garbage, not only today, but the past games as well. Stupid penalties and terrible in front of our own net. He cannot continue to play with Pellick.
Maybe they should put Dobson with Pellick.
The Islanders find ways to win, but not pretty ones, that's for certain. So, hey, people call it, hey, this is playoff hockey. Or we're just getting really hot.
What did I tell you how today's game was going to go?
The Penguins, the Penguins have lost their last 3 games against us. They've had 3rd-period leads of 2 goals, and they've found ways to lose every single one of those games in the 3rd period.
Jari gave up 2 goals in the last 5 minutes.
And DeSmith. Jari did that the game before.
Yep.
And then DeSmith did it as well.
Yeah.
So and people are like, oh, well, this says so much about the Islanders. The Islanders are massive. The Islanders are so clutch. No, it says a lot about the Penguins that they can't finish a fucking game.
The Islanders were dominated by Pittsburgh once again today. They're not beating a good team. They're not beating a good team.
A good team that has a goaltender that can make one of those saves, they're not beating. That's correct. No. Joseph C. said the Sabres have basically giving up 10 goals tonight against the Stars. That's right. The Sabres are done. We read them the eulogy yesterday. They're done. That's it. Grumpy read them the eulogy. Good night, Sabres. Pittsburgh defense sucks, including Yari. Especially Yari. I'm sorry. The reason Matt Murray had 3 good years in Pittsburgh is because that Pittsburgh didn't have a retirement home on their defense.
Matt Murray was a better goalie than Tristan Jarry.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely he was. And he's a better goalie than Casey DeSmith.
Yep.
Bang, a brick. fucking Nelson, says Andrew L. Yes, he did score the goal in overtime on that breakaway. Drew L said the Pittsburgh Penguins. Or X, read this.
Pittsburgh Penguins, what happened? How do you lose to the New York Islanders? See ya.
What happened? Joseph C said, I never bought Brady was officially retired, thinking that, he's just waiting for a good spot to land. He's going to end up in Miami or San Francisco.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be San Francisco. If it's Miami, don't you have to get that done like right away? How long are you going to wait?
Hold on a second. Drew has sent us a meme, and I haven't looked at it, but it does look funny. It is prefaced for everybody there. TJ, if he was negotiating with Lamar Jackson and Daniel Jones, I can only imagine.
Walk home. Walk home, bitch. Bye-bye.
Alrighty.
Walk home. Walk home, bitch. Bye-bye.
Walk home, bitch. Bye-bye. Oh, dude, that's great. That's a great one. I tell you. God almighty. Drew L said, it's not the first time the Jets got a washed-up Green Bay quarterback if they do get Rodgers.
To me, man, Lamar Jackson's a perfect fit there.
Do you just want to build a franchise around him? Grumpy, go ahead.
All I'm saying is for teams that are built to win now, and the Jets are there, a lot of young pieces on defense. Their defense is real good. You get a player at quarterback, either Rodgers or Lamar Jackson, they will make the playoffs next year. Either one of those two guys. So when I asked earlier, where would the Jets go if Rodgers doesn't sign there? You have to go over after Lamar Jackson because it's not going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. They were ready to get Derek Carr there. Jackson's better than Carr. I'm saying the Jets have a shot. The Giants shit the bed re-signing Jones, but the Jets can do something special. But the Jets will probably do something Jet-like and not get anyone.
The freaking Jets. No, I think they're going to get Rodgers. I really do. Joseph C. said, Tom Brady just can't let football go and no more man hands around. He can play as long as he wants.
That's true.
And Favre wasn't washed up and the Jets got him. He got hurt after they started 8-3. The year after, he almost won the MVP with the Vikings.
True.
Goon Grumpy.
I'd like to take the opportunity right now to apologize to Anders Lee. He's a stand-up chap this year.
No, he's not. He's the same he's always been. Average Anders. He's a nice guy, but average Anders. By the way, the Islanders won on a Croc Nelson overtime goal, and Sorokin with the assist. Bring out the brooms. That's right. Oh my God. Look at the Dallas score. My God. Hold on. Did we sweep the Penguins this year in play?
Yep.
Tells you more about the Penguins than it does us.
It tells you all about the Penguins that they don't have a goalie.
It's correct.
All about the Penguins lost because they don't have a goalie, period. They'll make the playoffs, but they don't have a goalie, period. They'll still beat us out. They'll still come in seventh.
Goon says, TJ and Grumpy, you should have your people get in touch with Aaron Rodgers people and have him announce his decision live. Okay, Grumpy, I need you to pull your strings up there with the Jets organization and let us know, because we're going to actually have Rodgers on and Pat McAfee could live stream our show as we're announcing, as Rodgers is announcing where he's going to sign. Goon, that's a good idea.
Long story short, I think that deal does get done, and that's all of a sudden that's a really tough division, the AFC East. If Tua can stay healthy or Brady goes there, you got to say the Dolphins are really in the mix for a playoff spot. They were not poor defensively, and you see what the Jets did. They picked up Clark, a safety from the Ravens, good player. They also dropped Braxton Berrios, so maybe they're trying to clear some cap space to free up to make a move for Rodgers. He's going to have to restructure his contract a little bit, though. I fully believe that. Green Bay might have to eat a little bit of money, but it's not going to cost them a lot. Maybe a second rounder for him.
Okay. Shay says here, get the puck for Sorokin. His first NHL point. Oh, man.
He was tremendous today. Tremendous.
Tony Cheese says, what Grumpy is trying to say is Rodgers is eclectic.
Yeah, whatever. He's wacko.
Paulo C. Grumpy.
What a comeback for the Islanders. Down 3-1 after 2 periods. Come back to win 4-3 in overtime. TJ, now we are definitely in the playoffs. Have a good chance for number 7. We're not coming in 7th. We'll come in 8th because Pittsburgh, Tristan Jarry can't beat us.
I was about to say, the Pittsburgh has no more games they can lose to us this year in the third period with shitty play.
That was 6 points that Pittsburgh should have had, all 6 points, and the Islanders should have got none out of that. But the Islanders got 6 and Pittsburgh got 1. All because they do not have a goaltender, period. I mean, I told you that last night on the Never Say Die podcast. I told you that. This guy would somehow find a way to lose the game at the end, and he did because he sucks.
And then Joseph C. here, Grumpy.
I don't see Rodgers retiring. He's owed $60 million this year and $50 million next year guaranteed. No way he walks away from 110. I don't think he's retiring either. I think he's just weighing, should I go with the Jets? Maybe he has problems. He's against Big Pharma, right? Isn't that what he comes out and says on the Pat McAtee show? Well, Woody Johnson is the owner of Johnson & Johnson Pharmaceuticals. So maybe there's a little conflict of interest there. Let's see if Rodgers sticks to his guns or if he takes the money. I think he takes the money.
I think he definitely takes the money.
Yes, 6.
Oh, man. I tell you. Gungun says, with the Saints, will Carr go far? Will Carr be stuck in tar? Stuck in tar. No, I think they win the division. I do.
There's no other quarterbacks in the whole division. You got Kyle.
What do you mean? The draft is loaded. There's going to be great quarterbacks coming out of the draft.
I think Stroud has your chance, and maybe Levis, because he does have that special pregame or pre-morning drink with coffee with mayonnaise. I think those two have a real chance to be
those
successful.
Teams pick 8 and 9. All those quarterbacks could be gone by 7.
They could. Absolutely, they could. And that's why I said you got to really suck. You got to really sink yourself down in the suck. Hey, listen up, Islanders. Listen up, Giants. In order to really get the guy, you got to sink yourself down in the suck.
Okay.
You got to sink yourself down in the suck to get Hall of Fame caliber players. And if you don't have Hall of Fame caliber players, you don't win.
Just because you're picking there does not make them Hall of Fame caliber players. But look at the quarterbacks.
Higher chance at Hall of Fame caliber players early in the draft than late, right?
Okay. Lamar Jackson has a greater chance of making the Hall of Fame than anybody coming through the draft. He's already proven he can do it.
Oh, better than anybody else. Nobody else has as high as a chance.
I'm going to bet none of these quarterbacks win league MVP. That's what I'm going to tell you. These guys coming up, they're not going to win
Way
league
too early
MVP.
to say.
Here's the thing. Look at the quarterbacks in that division. Kyle Trask for the Buccaneers, Desmond Ryder for Atlanta, and Sam Darnold for the Carolina Panthers. What does that tell you? There are no quarterbacks in that division. That division is there for the taking.
Man, oh man. Let's look here. Alexander says, what a win tonight. A beautiful goal, a beautiful play by Sorokin. And Apex Legends Senior Citizen says here, Palmieri is so bad. This team is way better with Eberle over this loser Palmieri. Great job, Lou Lamoriello.
True that.
Gotta love it. Gotta love that. And Alexander said, there's no collusion between NFL owners. Jackson. Oh, shit. Oh, I screwed it up. Oh, no. I got lost here. Lost in the sauce of comments. Oof. Oh, my God. We got a lot of comments to get through. Holy shit. I'm just looking at it now. Okay. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Okay, here it is. Let me go. Damn. We got a lot of comments. Okay.
You want me to read the
Jackson is not a better quarterback than Watson. Jackson is not a good passer. I agree. Shay says here, Buffalo lost 10-4 to we need Seattle to win now. Buffalo lost 10-4. And Drew L said UNC also lost to Virginia. Bye-bye Tar Heels.
True that.
They probably won't make the tournament.
No.
Jackson's highest passing total is 31,000 yards. Yep. That's the problem we've got here. Or 3,100 yards. Gungun says, why did Sean Kemp lose his cool in a parking lot?
Yeah, what the heck happened there? I think, I did read something on that. I forget exactly what it was, but it's a serious crime.
Fired a gun in self-defense. They released him for jail, not facing charges.
Okay.
No charges filed. He did shoot there in self-defense, apparently. Okay. He was arrested in a drive-by shooting.
Yes, that was it. Drive-by shooting. Yes.
Hasn't even come close to 4,000 yards. Watson is a better all-around quarterback, can make plays with his arms and his legs. Yep. And Joseph C says here, yep, heard Sean Kemp was robbed, tracked down. They tracked down who robbed him and then was shot at. Huh. My goodness. That game was so much fun, said Shay. I don't know. The game was fun for like 5 or 10 minutes at the end. I didn't enjoy watching the first 2 periods where I'm like, holy crap, we're getting dominated on the ice. Like the last 5 or 10 minutes were fun to watch. It was a good comeback win. The Islanders are 11-3-3 in the last 17 games. How long can they continue this hot burning streak?
When they stop playing shitty teams. Pittsburgh's a shitty team. When they play a good team, they'll lose. That's just the way it's going to be.
Alexander says wins and losses are not a quarterback stat.
Yeah, but when your team is really bad and you're chasing, when you're stat stuffing, like when you're 3-12 or whatever the record was, 3-13.
The year when he threw for 3,800 passing yards, the year before they were 11-4. So
they were never 11-4.
Okay, let me pull that up because you're wrong. Give me a second.
It was 11-5. It was not 11-4. They played 16 games this season.
He did not start one of the games, but don't worry, I'll pull it up, Grump. Give me a second.
Just move to the next comment, please.
Well, you just made a comment that's not correct. This is the next comment, Grump. You can read it,
Okay, fashing is fun, but Mayfield's poo-poo penalties were brutal. He had three stick violations today. Not good.
I apologize. He was 11. He was 11-5, 10-5, and then 4-12.
There you go. Thank you. I knew what his numbers were.
Oh my God, the Islanders, says Frank. Glad we won. To keep pace with you guys, said Joseph C. You guys own the Penguins. Yep, we swept them this year.
We own Tristan Jarry.
Yep,
that's who.
And DeSmith, both goalies for Penguins. Frank says here, I just finished it. Oh my gosh. I was so shocked that the Islanders won. Alexander said, yes, they're pissed off because of one stupid owner gave an alleged rapist a guaranteed contract, a stupid guaranteed contract.
And other guys around the league say that and hey, I deserve more than him. That's why salaries are going through the roof.
Drew L. Grumpy.
If there's one other team out of the ACC that I want to make the dance, it's Clemson. There's this guy named Hunter Tyson, who was first team all ACC this year. I played against him in high school.
Nice.
There you go. Well, I think Clemson's going to make it, right?
Yeah, I think they were the top team in the ACC this year.
They're a bubble team also. They had to win.
Started out hot then.
They had to win tonight. Gungun says, don't look now, but the Islanders are only 3 points behind the Rangers. But, very interesting. Well, are they 3 points? No, they're 5 points behind the Rangers. Sorry.
Yeah, the Rangers came back and won.
Yeah. How about those Isles boys? TJ, you better start believing. LOL. I will not say yes. I refuse.
I've already flippy-flopped. I've already flip-flopped. I said I think we're making the postseason. But here's the thing. Ottawa's winning tonight too, up 3-1.
Yeah, I don't care.
Over the Seattle Kraken.
I'd still be rather be the team with the points as opposed to the team that's got to make points up. We've seen them all shit the bed. Every single team, one at a time, has shit the bed. Every single one.
How hot do you think the Islanders could stay? Right now, they've come away with they've had a possibility, 17 games. They've got a possibility of 24 points. They've come away with what? They've come away with, no, I'm sorry, many more than 24 points. They had the possibility, 17 games.
25 out of 34.
Okay, perfect. 25 out of 34 points. How long do you think that continues?
As long as we keep up his thing, well, I'm sure we'll beat Washington.
We play them on Saturday.
Then you got the Kings, you got the Ducks, and San Jose. Those are all teams that I think LA is going to be tough. But, and like I said, go into this 4-game stretch that the Islanders win those 4 games, making the playoffs. They've already won the first 3. Once they beat Washington, they'll have all 4 guaranteed playoff spot. I think they'll lose to the Kings, but I think that they'll beat the Ducks and the San Jose. Kings are good.
Drew L said, yep, there's TJ getting his panties in a twist over Daniel Jones. And at this point, TJ must be a fan. I am a fan of the Giants. It's dooming ourselves to mediocrity, unfortunately. Alexander said, Tua is a better passer than Lamar Jackson. Maybe.
To his arm isn't good enough.
Tua passing the ball is like one of the. I'm sorry, Lamar passing the ball is like one of the bottom third quarterbacks in the NFL. With
The other thing
nobody
is though, Tua has Waddle and Tyreek Hill to throw the ball to.
Yep.
I mean, it's just hey, again, just like it was with Mahomes, reach down there somewhere, just chuck it.
And Joseph C here, Grumpy. Oh, 5 points behind Gungun. We won tonight too. Alexander said, I love how the Dolphins are playing the media. They are not in on a no quarterback. They're going to have Tua start the season because he deserves another year.
Then what happens when he gets injured?
You're taking karate lessons to try to learn how to fall. What do you think is going to happen when
Not karate, but it's Krav Maga, something like that, some sort of martial arts, not karate.
I thought it was karate. It doesn't matter because when the bullets are flying and he's running around, he's not going to remember any of that shit. He's just going to fall and he's going to get hurt. Like he's always been hurt. He's always been hurt. In college, he was hurt. Pros, he's hurt. He's an injury-prone guy. Just what he is.
I don't think he had a single season in college where he wasn't injured.
No, he missed games every single year. He's like a piece of fine china. If you clink it on a tabletop, it breaks.
Man, oh man. And continuing along here, Gungun says, young TJ, to prove that you were paying attention to Grumpy the other night while you were busy tapping on your keyboard's tapper, who is Heidi Fleiss? No idea.
Next.
Way to pay attention to the podcast, TJ.
Yeah. Okay, I'd try to multitask a million things. So when Grumpy's talking about some old reference, kind of goes in and out. I'm trying to usually find pictures. Heidi Fleiss, Grumpy, give me a hint and I'll remember.
I'm not going back to that.
Rob G.
They can't take Fashing out of the lineup when Cal comes back. I don't think Clutterbuck's coming back.
He was skating today.
Where does he play? What are you going to do? I guess you could sit Holmstrom.
Somehow
Engvall doesn't work on the first line. He got benched today, and they put Casper on the first line.
Oh, what a joke that is. Frank, Grumpy.
TJ will be irritated the Islanders won because he can't be right with his BS theory.
Oh,
it just further cements us on the treadmill of mediocrity. I don't like being mediocre. I fucking hate it. Honestly, being mediocre is worse than being bad. You want to hear a hot take? Being mediocre is worse than being bad. Because when you're mediocre, there's no substantial improvements that you can make through drafting. There isn't. So you're just stuck in that mediocre position for years and years and years. At least if you're hideous, you have hope that the guys that you're selecting in the top 5 will amount to something.
Like the Browns, like the Cleveland Browns?
The Browns, I think, I honestly do think the Browns have a chance to win the division next year.
Oh.
Absolutely. You don't think so?
No.
Who's beating them out?
Cincinnati.
I think the Browns will add
Baltimore. Pittsburgh will be better. The Browns
will be better. Kenny Pickett might win that division, Grump.
Oh my God.
It'll be Cincinnati.
I think that Deshaun Watson with a full year being back there this year saying, hey, I'm the guy coming in with training camp coming in too. He's going to be much more proficient.
They're not beating the Bengals out.
Okay. Rob G said, that was a big win tonight for the Islanders. Absolutely. And Joseph C said only $141 million of Mahomes' deal is guaranteed. That's a bargain for the Chiefs.
So what does it enable the Chiefs to do though? Every year they convert salary into signing bonus, so they can spread it out over the term of the deal, and it gives them more cap space. When you give a guy guaranteed contract, there's no wiggle room on it.
Mm-hmm.
Owners won't do it.
And here you go. Drew L. Grumpy.
Soon, Jalen Hurts is about to get 55 AAV despite being carried by his support system. See, I mean, 55 million is a lot different than, I don't know. I don't think I like Jalen Hurts as a person. I don't think he's a great quarterback.
No.
But he's certainly good enough to be a quarterback in the league. I mean, that Eagles offense was really talented this year.
The defense was the number one.
And he shit the bed personally in that Super Bowl that cost the game.
Yep.
Period.
I mean, think about that. If he didn't fumble, and we talked about it too, if he didn't fumble
it's 21-7 at half.
Yep.
And game over. Game over.
Well, here's the thing. If he didn't fumble that ball away, they may have drove down the field and scored.
They would have, because Kansas City couldn't stop him. He turns it over. It's 14-14.
And the Eagles made zero, and I mean zero halftime adjustments when the Chiefs did.
That's a young coaching staff. That's a young coaching staff.
Hey, everything's working. Let's just keep doing what we're doing, guys, and that's going to keep pounding the ball away. Keep pounding it. Goon says, Grumpy, do you consider the Who a proper rock and roll band?
Absolutely.
Daniel Jones is going to have his best year coming up in 2023.
I don't know. I don't know. He wasn't that great last year. He played his best game against Minnesota in the playoffs. That's the best I've ever seen him play.
He parlayed that into a 4-year contract.
Yep.
Because if they got shit canned in the first round against Minnesota, they wouldn't be signing him back. But they saw, oh, wow, Daniel Jones had a really good game in a playoff scenario. Let's give him a long-term deal.
In essence, they give him 2 years. 2 years to prove that he's the answer. If I'm the Giants and I see a quarterback drop down, if that Richardson kid drops down to wherever, somewhere they can trade up, I'd pick him and put heat on Daniel Jones, or just get rid of him after year 2. Let the kid learn for 2 years. I do that.
Drew L said, so TJ, let me ask you this. Did Trent Baalke break the wide receiver market when he signed Christian Kirk? I think he did. So when Watson got his contract, why doesn't that matter? Deebo Samuel wanted out of San Francisco. Deebo Samuel wanted more money. He wanted a larger contract. That's simple.
Yeah, but he wanted out of San Francisco because of the broken wide receiver market.
He's always wanted more money. He wanted more money.
He was never going to get that money until Christian Kirk got that inflated deal.
Oh my God.
We talked about it on the show, how it was way too much money for a second number 2 wide receiver. Way too much.
Okay. The Kirk deal doesn't look bad in retrospect.
But okay. Well, or move on. I'm not having this argument here. Move on.
Rob G said, I still can't believe it. DeAndre came back late to beat the Penguins. I kind of honestly expected it. It's funny. Grump and I were talking we were talking in the second period when the Penguins went up 3-1. I said, don't worry. Tristan Jarry will give up 2 unbelievably weak goals in the third period, and we're going to win it overtime. We verbatim said that over the phone, and sure enough, it happened like
I knew.
He sucks.
I knew. I thought we were going to score a power play goal with 8 minutes to go. They didn't, but I could see where it was going. And he doesn't get across on the fasting shot. I mean, he was there, but he doesn't stop the puck. And then the lead, he had all he's got to do is stay down. The puck's coming. He's down. He lifts up off his pads for a second. It slides underneath. He puts him back down. Goal. He sucks. He can't keep his legs closed. It's like a prostitute.
Alexander said, TJ, look at the video I sent you. Alexander, I did not get the video you sent me, so send again, please. Drew L said, TJ's just mad because he wished he was getting paid NFL money.
So do I.
He was getting paid NFL money. Yes, I wish we were getting paid NFL money. That'd be pretty nice. A lot of people had to rewatch the game. Frank and Rob said they had to rewatch the game because that's how fantastic it was. Goon said, should the Penguins' third period goal not have counted due to the puck being compromised by an open door?
No.
Is that what they were complaining about?
I don't know what they were
They're complaining about because he hit it off his hand. It hit off the guy's hand, which at first when I saw it, I'm like, that's kind of screwy. But here's the thing. The Islanders got the benefit of that call just yesterday, where it hit off, or just last game where there was a kicking motion that hit off his shin. And I'm like, well, this just hit off his hand, I guess. I just think it's a weird thing to say, like, yeah, I could try to push the puck into the net, or if I could try to redirect it with my hand. That's just an odd way to say, like, as long as you don't close your hand on it, I guess you could just push the puck. If it's going one way, just redirect it and push it in the net.
It bounced off his hand. Or it bounced off somebody's hand. Might have been Dobson's hand.
They showed the replay on the Penguins.
There was a slight deflection. There was a slight deflection.
Yeah, but it caused it to go in. But
it was way out. It was way out, though.
Yeah. And they didn't challenge that, though. Frank says, does the Grumpy Man and TJ realize what happened in this Islander game?
Tristan Jarry happened. Jarry happened. That's what happened.
Shay said, I think we need some Grumpy Man dancing after that electric Islanders win.
No dancing today because there's a lot of comments. We want to make sure we get to the comments today.
Frank,
here's the thing. For anyone who listens to the show or Islanders Never Say Die, we hate not getting to all the comments.
That's correct.
We really, can't do 4 or 5 hour shows But okay.
Oh my God, I forgot about AJ Brown too. Yeah, TJ Grumpy wins this one. I'm sorry, he wanted like 25 million, but I don't blame Tennessee at all for trading AJ Brown. It didn't work out for them because Treylon Burks is not going to be anywhere near what AJ Brown should be.
That's what happens when you get a lesser player making a boatload of money. It happens in baseball all the time. An average player gets an inflated salary, and all the rest of the salaries go up because those players are better and they deserve more money. It's not when Mahomes gets a deal or Allen gets a deal. It's when
25 million. Is he smoking crack? There's Drew L's got another comment there, Grump.
Also, if anything, Derek Carr keeps getting a ludicrous amount of money for being just a mid-tier quarterback year after year, but no one wants to dunk on him. He's he's in the Kirk Cousins group.
Yep.
I mean, you could eventually. You could win a title if everything was right. Matthew Stafford's in that group. I mean, shit. Matthew Stafford never even. I don't think he even had a winning record with Detroit.
Detroit was awful. So
yeah, year after year.
He had Calvin Johnson, and then Calvin Johnson bailed on the NFL after a couple of years. It's like, I ain't staying on this team.
The concussions did him in. But I was about to say, I forgot X was there because he's been quiet as a church mouse.
Y'all have been taken over.
Don't be afraid to comment in. Brett W. said Tristan Yari does it again. He sucks.
He sucks again. Oh, no, he sucks again.
Alexander wanted to show this to us. So this is the precision passing for the All-Star game back a few years in 2020. Pro Bowl.
With at least 3,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards in a season. Look, I'm always curious to see the strategy that guys go with here in precision passing. And you can see he wants the deep ball and those big points early on.
Yeah, he's trying to hit those corner routes down there, those 4-pointers. Typically, guys want to start with the 1-pointers, get some easy throws out of the way. Not Lamar, though.
Oh, my God, he cannot. I mean, these are the non-moving targets he's
missing. And then he goes for the metronome, that 2-target metronome. That cable line target for 5 points. So here he is a half minute into his 1-minute run and doesn't have a point.
But you can tell the confidence that he has because he's going for those deep ones. Maybe he's got to adjust the strategy a little bit.
Finally, he breaks through with that 4-target windmill. But this is
looking like blame him missing moving
for the
targets.
Guy who was the breakout star in the league this year. Lamar Jackson off
the Pro Bowl.
Any of this stupid shit.
Not only was he a breakout star, he's going to be the presumptive MVP. Named at NFL honors.
I bet did real good in that. Probably Mac Jones did real good in that.
Okay, how the hell are you unable to hit? Okay, it's down there, but I'm like, that's not a moving target. That's just staying there. It's like when you see quarterbacks, they do the bucket drill. They'll throw the ball down the field and they'll try
It's a skills competition. It's not a football game. I don't give two shits about it.
Okay, quarterbacks, when they practice, do something called the bucket drill, Grumpy, to where they line up a trash can and they throw the ball in the trash can to work on their accuracy and fitting it in a small area. That guy couldn't even hit a freaking massive target.
What's his record? 42-18.
Jesus Christ!
I'll take that.
Hey, what was Alex Smith's career record?
So, are you saying that who is it? Brock Nelson, who was in the All-Star game this year? Are you saying that he is the most accurate shooter in the NHL?
I'm saying he's got a very good shot. Absolutely, he does.
Why doesn't he put up more goals if he's got such a good shot?
He does. He does score goals. I think he
should be the league leader.
Exactly, he's the most accurate shooter in the league.
Most accurate shot. He's be.
If
all the time.
It'd be like saying Brock Nelson was the worst. Brock Nelson was unable to hit any of the 4 targets.
Can we move on, please?
Or maybe Lamar Jackson throws better under pressure than he does.
Here's the thing. I didn't bring it was a video, Grumpy.
I understand. We saw it. I explained it means nothing to me. A skills competition means nothing to me. Absolutely
hitting
nothing.
Targets does mean something to me. Now, Joseph sent this here to us. Now, this is, I'll let you watch, Grumpy. Apparently a very nice goal here by T-Max.
Now the Ducks will break out. Harrington, Strome, sauces to Zegras, between the legs.
That was nice.
Oh my goodness, he's done it again.
I'm telling you, the games that you do, he comes up with something like this. Great neutral zone transition.
He reminds me of in soccer.
Interesting.
Olivier Giroud.
Who?
Beautiful.
Olivier Giroud. He scores a lot of those crazy goals like that. He's a goal scorer.
Much better than Olivier Giroud. Much better.
Okay, 2 different sports. He's just trying to make a comparison.
They score a lot of those flashy kind of goals, like the crazy ones. Yeah. Zegras is known for scoring those crazy goals.
It's more entertaining to watch the Anaheim Ducks than it is to watch the Islanders play. just because of this kid right here.
Yeah. He's fun to watch. He definitely is fun to watch.
When we saw Barzal score that in between the legs goal against the Buffalo Sabres 2 years ago, I mean, that's still used on highlights because of how beautiful it is. This goal right here is just crisp. Thank you, Joseph, for sending this to us. This is so beautiful.
Yep.
My God, this is what the league wants to move.
That's what the league wants to showcase. That's skill and talent. You know what they don't want? Slogs.
They don't want where you've got 5 guys lining up in front of the net and trying to take a shot, and guys try to freaking rummage around for a loose rebound, and a guy bounces off an ass cheek and then off of somebody's tooth and then off a stick blade and into the net. That's not what they want. And guess what? In the postseason, they're going to be trying to get rid of that over the years. They don't want that because it doesn't draw eyes. This right here is what makes the common fan go, holy shit, that was beautiful. I can get behind this.
I want to see more of that.
Yep. How can I sign up to see more of that?
Yep.
This is beautiful.
Center ice package.
Beautiful all the way around. Absolutely. It's why teams like, and I was talking to Grumpy about this earlier. I said, don't be shocked if the postseason we feel like, oh, the Islanders aren't getting any of the calls. Because guess what? The league does not want to promote the Islanders because we do not play an attractive brand and style of hockey. The league wants to go ahead and put on showcase the teams that play attractive hockey.
Okay, the Islanders aren't going to be getting any calls because they're going to be hemmed in their end the whole game.
That too.
That was today. That was today for the first 2.5 periods. Hemmed in their own end. Sorokin won the game for us today.
Yep.
Sorokin won the game for us today. He was tremendous. I can't tell you how many goals just trickle past going to the net. They had like 3, 4, 5 of them today. He makes a spectacular save, and we're just able to desperately clear it out. I mean, it was like Pittsburgh was on a power play most of the game. And I said, but I knew they were going to lose because Trichinjari was in net, and he did not disappoint.
Joseph C. Grumpy.
Yankees might be in deep poop, by the way. Carlos Rondon, Harrison Bader, Efros, Montas, and Trevino are all on the DL already. Yeah, they've had a lot of injuries. I'll tell you what, the kid, the Martian, he hit another home run today. That kid's, I don't know how old he is. He went through 3 levels of the minors last year. He's a legit hitter. From the left side, tailor-made for Yankee Stadium. He's got a big lower body. That kid generates some power. Really impressed with him.
Andrew L said the Harbaugh brothers are awful head coaches. I don't know about that.
Michigan made the playoffs this year.
They're not awful, but John Harbaugh has been doing some dumb crap the last couple of years. Is that Mike Piazza?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
He's looking old.
Italy.
He's looking old. Yeah, he won their first game. He was coaching there. Yep. Mike Piazza led Italy to the first win in his first World Baseball Classic game as a manager.
Good for him.
He was also on some kind of like Fear Factor-esque show. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Mike Piazza's he's looking older now.
So how old do you think he is? He's got to be in his 40s, right?
He's 54 years old.
Well, then he's in his 50s. What the hell?
I'm just saying it's crazy to think that. I'm like, holy crap, Mike Piazza's.
Start to make you feel old, right?
Yep.
Yes, it does, Grump. For certain it does. I remember watching Mike Piazza as a kid.
Giving TJ a reality check.
Hey, X, don't worry. You're going to look at Derek Jeter 4 years from now and say, holy shit.
I already look at Derek Jeter now and say, holy shit, he's old.
I'm getting, you start to say, getting old.
He hides it a little bit better because, he's
when
bald.
I looked at Piazza, that's what I was about to say. When I looked at Piazza, I'm like, holy shit, he
noticed
looks
the
like he's
gray.
older.
Yep. Well, the thing is, Jeter ain't got no hair, so he's bald. He's going to look the same age.
He's wearing a baseball cap. I don't know how much hair you're seeing on Mike Piazza.
Look at his little goatee right there. You can see a little touch of gray in there.
Just for men, a touch of gray. Yep. Oh, good gracious. I'm sorry. Continue there with comments. I wanted to show you that because I had it pulled up here.
Did you hear what Team England or I think England was saying?
Great Britain's team.
Yeah, Great Britain. Did you hear what they were saying? They want the United States. They said, bring on the U.S.
Good luck. Anyway, Grumpy, read that comment.
Grumpy says, all Lamar does is win. Skip Bayless is reminiscing on the Tim Tebow days. All he does is win. Lamar Jackson's way better than Tim Tebow.
Yeah, way better than that. I do want to say this here. So Kyler Murray popped up here. So Kelvin Beachum, He's an offensive lineman for the Cardinals. He's
been around for a while. He's been around for a while too. Kelvin
Who's
Beachum
been around for a while. Okay,
Kelvin Beachum. He's a veteran. He's a veteran. So,
correct. He's a veteran, and he said this on the radio. He said, "Be a man and grow up." I didn't say he lacks leadership. I just think he needs to grow up a little bit. Remember when Patrick Peterson said something very similar on the podcast, and that we brought that up not last year, that he needed to grow up, that what was being said. Kelvin Beachum is a vet in the league. You're seeing that again. Marquise Hollywood Brown then took to Twitter after this because somebody said, "Don't you have his number, bro? Why don't you just call him?" But he said, "I ain't never seen this much collusion from within. We've got each other's number, but steady get on a podcast or tweet shit, and it'll be different." It was addressed in person first because it's hard to read this because it's not great English.
It's like he can't write
because one ain't never public is bashing or talk down to anyone, even after years of running for his life. It's weird, bro. So he's unhappy. Feels like there's some collusion against his boy, Kyler Murray. Remember, they played college football together too.
It sounds like Hollywood Brown didn't like that it got out, that he did it on a podcast. It should have been done in-house.
On radio. It was done on a radio or something like that.
I'm going to say one thing. It doesn't work in-house because they've talked to him about this shit in-house.
Correct.
It doesn't work.
It's not the first, like when you hear Patrick Peterson, because I remember people were saying the same thing. Well, why doesn't Patrick Peterson just call him up? What's the issue? I can tell you one thing, when you see a few of these happening, it's not like he was never told in a nice way, dude, you got to start taking a step in the right direction. We need you to lead us. We need you to step up. We need you to do more. It's not like this has never been talked about. And then all of a sudden someone just goes on a radio, 2 different incidents with 2 NFL vets. And Peterson was retired at this point, saying, you need to kind of step up. You need to answer the bell. It's not like this has never been discussed with him. It makes me, the more and more I see stuff like that, it makes me wonder how invested Kyler Murray is in actually being a successful pro.
X, you have any comments on that?
I think his entire, I would rather play Call of Duty than focus up learning the playbook and focusing on the team tells you all you need to know about him.
Remember, they didn't even know if he was going to play football or play baseball.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Was he drafted by the Athletics?
He was drafted by the Athletics, got a huge signing bonus. I think he had to pay it back when he decided to go into the NFL.
He was drafted early too, if I recall.
Yeah. I think he was. I don't know. I don't know exactly where he was picked, but it was a top 10 pick for certain. And it was the only reason why he was picked lower was because of the football thing.
I don't think he really cares about winning. I think he just likes collecting a paycheck. If I'm going to be 100% honest.
And when they want to put in your contract that you have to study a certain amount, those are red flags. That's a huge red flag.
Yep. And they said, oh, no, we took that out of the contract. They didn't say, no, we didn't have that in the contract. No, we took that out of the contract.
So they're not even denying that it was in there.
Right.
Correct. So do you remember what happened to Michael Irvin? Was back on February the 5th. I think that was Super Bowl Sunday, or was that the week before Super Bowl?
It was
Sunday?
the week before, and they took him off the air.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. On February 9th, Irvin filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit in court against the Marriott International and the female employee that accused him of misconduct. Wow. Now, this is the video right here that was in question. Now, what happened to Michael Irvin? He was suspended from his spot there he was on the what shows is he, because he's all over the place.
Yeah, he said he said he met this person for like maybe 45 seconds.
Here it is, 41 seconds of the clip. And he'd been drinking because you see the drink in his hand. But I'm gonna let you listen to this and tell me if you think, oh yeah, this is a guy who should have been suspended, and this is a guy who, because they said the Jane Doe described in this lawsuit complained about the interaction she had with Irvin on the 5th, and the witness emerged there saying that there was misconduct towards this employee. and I'll let you determine how much misconduct there is, and if this should have resulted in Michael Irvin being suspended. I'll let you
There were a
react.
lot of people around.
Yes, it's at a bar. He's at the bar.
Yep.
So I'll let you. There was misconduct at the bar. Apparently, I'll let you watch.
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything, but this is, you talk about the misconduct. He's just talking, shooting the shit at the bar is the point. It's because there's just music going on. The big point of this is it's not like he's towering over anybody. She's laughing a bit too.
Oh, that's the girl?
You see people. We don't know who the Jane Doe is. It's an employee. He did this little bit right here. Lift the drink up there. There was no like yelling, getting in somebody's face. The misconduct over here. There was not. You're right. It was a 40-second long clip where we really can't hear. We never will be able to really hear unless somebody gets on and starts really going ahead and editing the.
All I have to say, in today's society, when any of these things come up, it's guilty until proven innocent, which is not what this country was built on, which is innocent until proven guilty. But the wokesters absolutely have all these guys running scared. So if you're going to ask me if he should have been suspended for that, absolutely not. The NFL should have did their homework and just said, you know what, tough shit, and I hope he wins a lawsuit. I really do. That's how you shut these people up. That's how you stop them, is with this shit. There are guys who do some bad stuff in this world, but you know what?
This is not one of them. He's not
absolutely not one of them.
Looks like he's just talking. It's like he's having a conversation.
His hands, I know a few people have met him. His hands are freaking ginormous, and all they could say about him was very, very pleasant things about Michael Irvin. And now this, like regarding just to recap a few of these, according to the lawsuits, the witness above backed Irvin's initial claim that he just casually exchanged pleasantries with the employee, shook her hand, and went to his room alone.
He didn't even shake her hand.
So, like, you don't see that in this video. And then Irvin said here, it was a positive and friendly conversation. They had a brief interaction for about 30 to 40 seconds. He kept his distance at all times, stood about a meter away from her. They ended with a handshake and literally turned around and went, and he turned around and went to the lift.
You want to know what made me believe him from day one? He came out and admitted that he'd been drinking. He says, yep, I had a few drinks.
This is the employee that I guess that this is our Jane Doe. One of these girls are our Jane Doe over here. This interaction was the one. And these people who were sitting at the bar, this man, this gentleman here as well, said they corroborated Michael Irvin's original claim before this video was released. But she said that, oh no, I guess this cost him, right? This cost him good standing. This cost him, right? He was lined up to do the Super Bowl as well. No, you're not able to do that anymore because of this right here, this interaction right here. We can't hear anything, but this interaction. It doesn't look like there's any sort of, animosity. It's not like he's getting anybody.
He's smiling at him.
He's just, she's smiling. And he's just talking and smiling ear to ear as well.
You have the mute button on.
Yeah, you can't hear anything. But so I'm just like, I'm more looking at the mannerisms. It's not like this is the guy who's irate or flipping his shit or going crazy, just having a discussion.
I mean, he's a long way off from her, too. He's not even near her.
Correct.
He's closer to the guys. Exactly.
People are smiling, laughing. It's not like there's anything like maybe it's this blonde lady because I don't see a smile on her face. Maybe that's who it is. But it's like, that doesn't strike me as something where I should be suspended from my job due to misconduct.
Ridiculous.
He'd write us a new contract. Cannot talk to women, period.
Jesus Christ. I tell you, it is. Yeah. Yikes. Yikes. Hopefully we'll be able to get the audio on that. But it's going to, I assume with like the music that's playing in the background, very tough. Michael Irvin, again, I've only heard very positive things about him as a person. And that video does not corroborate.
Well, he's had a checkered past when he played with the Cowboys.
Okay. All I've known about him is since he's been retired, the interactions that people have had with him since he's been retired.
Okay.
So, I mean, what did he do to the Cowboys years ago?
Well, they had the cocaine house and, where, the Cowboys used to go there and do drugs and take girls and stuff like that.
Okay. So, well,
that wouldn't fly today.
No, absolutely not. And Rob G said the Islanders. Bo looked good. He won a lot of faceoffs tonight, setting up key plays. He gets paid to do that there. Huge assist on Bo Horvat for Anders Lee's first goal. Who would have thought that Horvat would have made Lee way better? I knew he made Barzal better, but Lee too. Wow. I don't know. How many points did he have tonight? That's the question.
Lee had 2. I know.
Okay, it's grumpy. It's going to be too hard for me to do that, to skip certain comments. It's going to be too difficult, okay?
Let me read the comments.
Then
Let
start
me read
reading.
the
Then start
Okay,
reading, Grumpy.
Put them up. Okay, we already read that one. Let's go.
Oh, so now you want me to just put up every comment?
Just put the next one up, and I'll take it from there. I just have to find. Here we go. Okay. Hudson Fashing is becoming one hell of an Islander lately. He has been good. Frank says, Frank, that's Grumpy's man, Lee. LOL. Frank says, oh, look at Lee and Nelson's goal totals, and they have more than many big gun players for other teams. It's crazy. They're the only 2 guys on the whole team who were scoring. Buffalo lost 10-4.
You read that one.
Frank from Empire State says, LOL. Yeah, Rob. Hey, Grumpy. Lee said, screw you, and has become the man. LOL. He has played well of recent. He has.
Okay. Danny Defenders, Grumpy.
Danny Defenders, Joe Shane, our leader. Joe Shane.
Brownie here, Grumpy.
How are you all still talking so much about a sport whose season is over? I'd be happy to hear about the latest in cricket and rugby right now.
That's tough. I couldn't tell you too much about. I watch like occasionally on like a Sunday morning. I'll watch some rugby, but I'm like,
I watched a cricket game. I think it was last weekend at night, and I had no idea what was even going on.
I try to understand cricket, but it's too damn difficult.
It is.
I like Aussie Football Rules is a great sport. Grumpy and I have watched that before. It's the greatest damn sport, Aussie Football Rules. That doesn't get any press around here. But cricket, I've tried to understand so many times. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Long story short, the NFL is the Mac Daddy of all sports, period. End of sentence, end of story in this country. And free agency starts next Tuesday or Wednesday.
And Grumpy's all excited. Maybe Brady might make a return. Look at it, Grumpy.
I don't think so.
Oh, look at Grumpy.
Okay. Here we go.
Grumpy, how about this, Grump? I will post up the comments when I can read them. If you could just carry conversation, I'm going to try my best, right? I don't need you to just read every single comment, but I'm going to try my best there to find the ones that are applicable, because there was a lot of Islanders. Yes, the Islanders won. We understand that. We won't pop up every single, yes, the Islanders won, but yes, the Islanders won in impressive fashion.
Drew says, I even think Geno Smith's extension is trash as well, but that's just me. 3 years, 150 for a 33-year-old system quarterback. What did he come out? Let me tell you something. Big respect for Geno Smith. He said, if they want to draft a quarterback, I'll do everything I can to help them develop. Good for him.
I was about to say, too, that's something we didn't cover, too. Geno Smith signed that contract. And here's the thing. I've always liked Geno Smith as a guy that says, like, the comeback player of the year, fantastic. I don't know how anybody could ever root against Geno Smith as a person, because he might not be a great QB, but he played well this year. He's not a great quarterback, but he's a hell of a person.
Yep. And that comment today saying that if they draft a quarterback, I'm all for it, and I'll do everything I can to teach him whatever I can. Good for him. Good for you, Geno Smith.
Again, not do that.
It shows that he is all in for the team's success in helping anyone he can, and he understands that he's been given a platform. He wants to help any way he can.
High class individual.
Absolutely. Here we go. I'm a big Jets fan, Rob. I'm worried about getting Rodgers. My best friend is a Giants fan, and he says, it'll be great for us, but I'd rather focus on the Islanders and avoid Jets stress. No, if you got Rodgers, I feel like that's a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. And we got here, Lee has really stepped up there. Paulo C says, since that Horvat trade.
Frank from Empire State says the Cleveland Browns ruined quarterback salaries for all teams. It was BS to just add value to franchise because owners wanted to sell.
The owners haven't sold, though, have they? Or they're not looking to sell, Cleveland Brown owners?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so I didn't include that because I don't think they are. But I think that that's again, we've talked about that ad nauseum. I don't want to rehash that, but Grumpy still wants to get his little digs in per the usual. So that's why
I'm just reading certain comments. That's all.
Certain comments that still happen to
Drew says, I mean, it's hard to listen to the Jets fan on what a Super Bowl caliber quarterback is, considering all the Jets do is pick up washed up 40-year-old quarterbacks. That's what loser franchises do. If you get the right one, you can win.
Who's a loser, washed up 40-year-old quarterback, Grumpy? Who would that be?
Well,
who do you think that would be?
I don't think I know there's no loser, washed up 45-year-old quarterback. He went to the Succaneers when he was 41, 42, and led him to a Super Bowl in the first year. So,
My Little Brownie says here, Jason Robertson had a 3-point game, and none were goals in a 10-goal winning game. That kid's special, whether he scores or not.
Okay. When they scored 10 goals, he should have had like a 6-point game.
No, he had a fantastic. Jason Robertson's great. I wish we had a guy I wish we had Jason Robertson on the Islanders.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's special. And Joseph C. said Rodgers isn't washed up. He literally had nobody to throw the ball to last year besides that rookie Christian Watson. I agree with that. I think he still has some left in the tank.
He's just not a winner. And he's a douche.
Well, he has won one Super Bowl.
He is a douche. That's true. He is.
Yeah. But he's not a winner, though.
He has won one Super Bowl.
Robert G said Cousins is overrated and is terrible in big games.
Agreed.
That's why, they'll never win. He puts up good numbers during but he's just think about most quarterbacks don't come up to most quarterbacks are not clutch. That's why you could see them lose. Most quarterbacks aren't clutch. The ones that are clutch are so rare that you talk about them all the time, like the Mahomes, the Burrows, this guy, that guy. Most quarterbacks are not clutch, though.
True. It's what made a certain quarterback so great for so many years.
Frank says, why won't Grumpy and TJ talk about the Islanders? We talked about them yesterday, and we'll probably talk about them if I'm back in time, or if I'm able to. We'll talk about them Saturday, Frank. 2 days a week, 3 hours. It's a great win, Frank. But hey, this is the all sports show, my friend. But it's a great win for the Islanders, right? I think I think they're pretty much all but guaranteed a spot in the postseason. That's what this win did in overtime today. I think that pretty much cemented their postseason spot. Gungun said, I just realized Grumpy predicted Yari was going to stink tonight. He stunk.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. Rob G said, TJ's happy now. Oh, my gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, TJ had to go let off some steam, if you catch my drift. Ugh, Drew L. Good gracious. Yari always somehow stinks against us.
He
does.
He's terrible.
He's miserable. Joseph C. Grumpy.
Rich Eisen and Trey Wingo are saying they heard whispered that he isn't going to Fox anytime soon. Well, we know he's not going this year. So we'll see. Maybe
NFL.
I just find it interesting that it's almost like the same time as last year when he came back 40 days. Maybe it's like, the flood. Rained for 40 days and 40 nights when Noah built the ark. That's Brady. Well, 40 days, I'm ready to go again. Who knows? Drew says, Brady, I don't think she's feeling it either. Your ex-model wife, I don't think she was feeling it. Okay.
And
D-Cut has no problem.
Evening.
Hey, D-Cut, how you doing?
Grumpy.
Mekhi Becton is looking like a linebacker in this photo.
Thank you very much.
That's trick photography, just to let you know.
No, it's not trick.
Yeah, the last two photos look more so like him. The first one, no.
Frank Grumpy, he's saying there, that happened. I took her to multiple Yankees games. She became a Jets fan, which I sort of didn't want. And it looks like Mekhi Becton lost 60 pounds. He lost more than 60 pounds. He looks like he lost about 80 or 90 pounds.
250.
D-Cut saying sleeves, TJ, sleeves. Mekhi can be a team changer for the Jets. He can be a game changer, big important. I think Mekhi Becton, if healthy, is a big plus for the Jets.
Let's see. He's never shown he can do anything in the pros. Never. He's going into his 4th year. He's never done anything.
He's played well when he was healthy. D-Cut said,
no, he hasn't.
One with that ballerina. Yeah. Okay. And, D-Cut, we'll address that. Shitty teams, bad goaltending. We have won games, but we're also 11-3-3 in our last 17. So that's even a larger sample size, and we've been playing good over that entire sample size. Unpopular opinion, the Falcons should trade Cordero Patterson. They could get a couple of picks for him in a much-needed rebuild.
He's
They
not
didn't
worth.
have much value.
He's not worth anything. I like Cordero Patterson, but he's a 31, 32-year-old running back / wide receiver. Maybe you'd get a 6th or a 5th round pick for him. That's it.
Does he still do punt returns and kick returns?
I don't know if he does them any. He's never done punt returns, but kick returns he has. I don't think he does them anymore because he's a running back.
Remember when he originally entered the league with the Giants back in the days, that punt returner?
No, he was with the Vikings.
Okay, then that's right. Then he went to the Giants as a punt / kickoff returner.
He never played for the Giants.
Never played for the Giants? No, am I misremembering?
He went to the Bears, then he went to the Patriots, and now he's gone to the Falcons.
Grumpy knows the history of Cordero Patterson.
I like Cordero Patterson. He's a hard charger, straight ahead guy. He's not a great pass catcher. That's why he didn't cut it as a wide receiver. But like I said, as a running back, man, he runs hard. I always liked him.
Yeah, I don't know why the hell I thought he had played at all for the Giants. But yeah, he played for quite a few teams, not for the Giants.
Was I right with the teams?
Yeah,
I know
he played. I honestly, I was kind of trying to get that pulled up when you were talking about it. So I kind of zoned it. He played at Northwestern in South Carolina, the same exact high school that Jadeveon Clowney went to.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not sure if he overlapped times with Jadeveon Clowney, but he may have. Anyway, moving right along here. D-Cut says Carr doesn't move the needle.
Correct.
Tony G says here, it looks like he wants to eat that shoe. Oh God, talking about Mekhi Becton.
This show should be advertised as mostly NFL, maybe some other sports, and I'd be okay with that.
Gracious.
Well, baseball hasn't really started yet.
Yep. And I was about to say, right now we talk so much hockey. It's like we do still talk a lot of hockey on this show too, but I'm like, the NBA, the postseason hasn't started yet. I mean, we're trying to keep, like the Ja Morant thing we talked about a good bit last show, and I'll be interested to see what happens there with that.
It's going to be maybe moved up to a 50 plus.
No, it was a fake. That was a fake tweet. The suspension of 50 games is a completely fake tweet. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, there's no way. But it's like Joe Mixon, right? We were going to comment on that, but it's like, it's really unknown what happened just quite yet with off the field stuff. But no,
I'm going to add another sport. I watched on A&E WWE Rivals. They had the Undertaker and Mick Foley / Mankind's the Dude Love, whatever, and they had the the Hell in the Cell match where he threw the Undertaker threw Foley off of the top of the cage through the Spanish announce table. Somehow he got back up on top of the cage, and then he goes to give him a choke slam. The cage gives way. He falls down, crashes into that. He's got a tooth hanging out of his nose. Then they do the thumbtacks thing where he gets slammed on the thumbtacks. Totally brutal match. And why am I meant bringing up the WWE? There is something where they want going to have gambling, where you're allowed to gamble on the results. Here it is right here.
Yes.
WD reportedly wants to offer betting on scripted matches. How? Please stop.
I will say, in the defense of the WWE, it's not like you could say, hey, we're going to practice 2 scripts, and based off of the amount of bets that come in, we'll give you a red little light in the corner or a green light to let you know what you're going to do and how the script will change.
Yeah, but who's to say, hey, we're going to inform you that such and such is going to win this match?
Well, I was going to say, yes, talk about the employees. I think that's 100% right there, X, because the employees, if they know, and they could maybe bet or tell a buddy to bet on something because they know the script beforehand.
X, finish your point.
No, I mean, that's all I was saying. I was like, you can absolutely inform. I mean, it's not like a sport where, okay, anything can happen. And you could even have bribery and stuff going on in sports, but a team could still outcome and win during those disadvantages. But I mean, the script is literally written. If a wrestler knows what's going to happen in there, he can let his buddies know, and then bam, they make a killing.
There you go.
Yep, it's that. Yes,
insider trading.
Problematic.
Insider trading. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we're just going to say it's problematic there, X, because it's not that. Thomas Amadeo, Grumpy.
Hey, boys, is Sun X not revealing himself? By the way, Islanders with a huge grit win. Thanks, Tristan Jari. Thanks.
Well, more Sun X, Grumpy. When are you going to get done for Sun X what you need to get done?
I got to get him a mask. I haven't gotten the mask yet. I got to get the mask.
Been like that for weeks, Grump.
I know, but I'm looking for the right mask. Maybe I'll just go with a regular mask and he'll just say,
Cue the TJ excuses for the Islanders winning.
Oh.
I don't know. I think everybody could say we were outplayed today for the majority of the game.
Even Butch said it.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad does got to be when Butch says it? Pittsburgh, like I said, Pittsburgh doesn't have a goalie. There you go. End of sentence.
Drew L said, I'm not excited at all for the Yankees. It's going to be the same shit over and over until Cashman restructures our hitting lineup and fires Boone. This is how I feel about the Islanders and the Giants, Drew. The same way you feel about the Yankees. The same shit's going to happen. And here's the thing. The Yankees are a way better team than the Islanders. Way better. But they're still very flawed, and they don't have the right pieces to win a World Series. The same thing with the Islanders in the Stanley Cup and the Giants with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Giants are a little bit different. They have the GM and the coach in place. They just need a better quarterback, and they need some wide receivers. There's some things they need, but I mean, this was year one of the rebuild. So, I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. But for the Yankees, absolutely. I don't know how Boone kept his job last year.
What? Oh,
I don't know how Boone kept his job last year.
Okay. You just kind of think going in and out there. But let's continue along here. Oh, no, Drew, I'm not going to show this. No. Okay. First, we've got a lot of Islander stuff here. You guys. No, we watched the game. It was a good win. It was a win to where the last 5 or 10 minutes was exciting for the Islanders. But other than that, I didn't like the play being mostly in our zone. And it looked like we're having to scramble to make every stop. We're in the penalty box because we can't stop making dumb penalties. And we win at the last 5 minutes because they just collapse. You know, that the last 5 or 10 minutes was exciting for us to watch. But the first 2 periods was hard to watch. Getting outplayed, period.
Yeah, for me, that game, Tristan Jari shit the bed once again, period. The goal on Fashing, he gets there and somehow he doesn't make that save. And then the Lee one on the redirect, he had the puck stopped. He stands up or he gets off his knees. The puck goes between him. Then he goes back down to his knees. He does a lot of that stuff. He sucks.
Because it says, it's great seeing how pissed that bald-headed jerk TJ is right now. Priceless. Thomas Amadeo says, Sun X, reveal yourself.
He will be revealed.
Frank, we are Islander fans. But I think the exact same way that Drew described it, where it's like, you need to change up because I'm not getting excited about the Yankees, is exactly how we feel about the Islanders and exactly how I feel about the Giants. Let's see here. Frank, the tying goal by Lee was questionable, says Paul O.C.
No, I don't think so. Jari had it stopped. He lifted up. It barely crossed the goal. I mean, it was a goal, but it's like, dude, you got to stop that. And he didn't.
The Boston Bruins lost tonight in regulation. I love it. And they were up 2-0. They wound up losing 3-2.
Well, it snaps their 11-game winning streak.
Shay said, TJ skipped my comment about the Islanders and the games in hand. Maybe I just didn't see it. It kind of got lost in the jumble. Sorry, Shay. I'll try to go back and find out what you're talking about. Stop, Grumpy. You know what's funny? The Islanders are one of the hottest teams right now. They are. They're the hottest team in the NHL, I'd say, right now. 12-3-3. They're playing fantastic.
I thought it was 11.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. 11-3-3. Oh, just after they beat the Washington Capitals because we're not losing a game the rest of the year.
Which they will. They're not losing to the Capitals. I don't think we're going to lose to any teams but Toronto, Tampa, Carolina, and Jersey. Those will be our losses for the rest of the year.
He said, you notice how TJ stopped talking about point percentage. We're going to make the postseason. I flip-flopped. I said that last show. Freddie flip-flopped on Wednesday. I said I've officially flipped to the other point of view where the Islanders are making the postseason. I'd be shocked. I think there's a higher chance that they make the postseason than don't. And after tonight's win, it's pretty much a sure gone conclusion. The Islanders will make the postseason unless they collapse.
Somebody needs to clip that. TJ's admitting he was wrong.
It's hard to believe.
That. I admit when I'm wrong.
And as D-Cut, remember, I said point percentage doesn't mean anything. Nothing.
Point percentage is important. But when your team goes 11-3-3, that's going to help. Unless the Islanders have a streak after they just went 11-3-3 and they go 3-10-1, that they're going to make the postseason as long as they don't collapse down the stretch. I'd be shocked.
All the other teams are collapsing. I said of the 7
the Islanders
teams,
are playing better.
Of the 7 teams that were contending for those 2 final playoff spots, whoever got hot was going to make the playoffs. The Islanders got hot. Pittsburgh is going to make it just because they just have such a big lead on everybody else. They could still pass us for most points, where we come in 8th. But all the other teams, they'll fall by the wayside, in my opinion.
I don't skip all the meme comments. You're wrong. I get all the memes in. Yes, resend, Shay. Resend the meme. I don't think I got a meme from you. Or maybe I have it just now. No, the last one I have from you is on March the 5th. Jiu-jitsu is what he's doing. And Lamar has missed more games than Tua. Has he really, though? Lamar's missed more games than Tua in his career?
Well, how many years has Tua started?
2.
And Lamar started, what, 5?
Maybe,
4 or 5. I mean, give it 3 years.
He was a starter as soon as he came into the league. He was starting.
Yeah. Paulo C here, Grumpy.
Guys, Boston doesn't desperately need to win. Don't you remember they won enough games lately? They're due to lose a game here and there. You can't win every game.
I don't know. But big win, says Wood of Films. Rock on the breakaway there. And he said, Cowboys suck. That they do. Fire PK. Hire TJ. Oh, looky there. I got a higher TJ thrown in there.
Wow, that's unusual.
That is very odd. I do like PK Subban, though. I think he fits well in the role of what they ask him to do. This is the first time in franchise history that they swept the Penguins in a season series.
I did not know that.
Holy shit, that's a shock.
Yeah, did not know that.
God. I didn't know it either. Anyway, moving along here. Speaking of Cincinnati, let's just say Jamar Chase's baby mama is ready to expose dirt on him on top of the Joe Mixon debacle. Yes, I did see this. That apparently she said she has enough dirt on him or enough that she could go ahead and get him thrown out the league or something crazy like that. So who knows what that is?
You know what?
It sounds like extortion to me.
Watch out, honey. He's going to cut you off.
She probably already has.
Probably already is cut off.
And that's why she's threatening to bring this up. Yeah. Like the timing, I am sure, has something to do with this. But like when I saw those headlines, and again, it's very vague right now. It sounded kind of like extortion. I'm like, what? Like, oh, if you don't, I'm going to go ahead. I got so much on you. It's some like Instagram model. Ugh. Think about that as a job. I'm an Instagram model. I just take pictures of myself and put them on the internet.
Well, when you're getting paid by Jamar Chase, I mean, do you really need to do anything else?
There you go. Another type of payment.
Good gracious. 11-3-3 is not mediocre.
Your brain is mediocre.
My God almighty. Fire TJ, hire D-cut. Oh, gosh. Here you go. Shay, Grumpy.
TJ, the teams who are behind the Islanders and have games in hand, besides the Penguins, get all the points in hand. The best they can do is tie the Islanders. We have the regulation win tiebreaker.
Yeah, I think the Islanders making the postseason.
Like I said,
pretty flip-flopped Wednesday.
Those teams had a chance 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. They don't anymore because all those extra games they were playing, they lost them to teams they should have beaten. Detroit, Buffalo. I mean, Ottawa's playing tough. Who cares? They're not going to make it. Washington fell off the map. Like I said, the only reason I'm picking Pittsburgh is they're so far ahead of these other teams as well, and they have games in hand as well as being well up. So it's going to be Pittsburgh, Islanders, the last 2 spots. Who gets 7, who gets 8? We'll find out.
Okay, Grumpy, another comment.
Says, and stop comparing Jackson's weapons to Tua's weapons, because then you can say the same thing about Mahomes and Rodgers and all these quarterbacks that were good even without weapons. Okay, you can't deny that Tua has better weapons than Lamar Jackson. Can't deny it. And I think Mahomes, he lost Tyreek Hill.
He still has Travis Kelce.
He's got Travis Kelce. Rodgers, he lost Devontae Adams, and they didn't have a replacement.
Usually those guys are able to complement each other and they play fantastic. A lot of those quarterbacks and, the wide receivers, tight ends, it's kind of takes two to tango in that particular situation. So this is what happened with Jamar Chase. Apparently, Ambar Nicole, or maybe it's just Amber, but it's spelt with an A, Ambar Nicole.
I'm going to call it Ambar.
Ambar, but I'm sure it's pronounced Amber. But it started apparently.
It's not my fault you can't pronounce her own name.
No, she knows how to pronounce her name. I'm just saying, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if she goes by Ambar or Amber. So I'm just saying that I don't know. I've never heard this late names before. I'm just reading it. Started in 2021 where the issues started. Went on social media saying media to call the NFL to kick him out of the league. Apparently, he called his child a bitch or something like that. And there was serious abuse allegations made against him as well. Now, that was dating back to November of this last year. And Nicole started off a post, an old photo, and it said, "Now, Mr. Chase, you have some serious skeletons in your closet, repeated. I know the real you. Stop dodging the courts and responsibility. You know yourself. I have multiple videos that will end your career in one post. I'll have my attorney at the Bengals facility in 2.5 seconds.
Bengals.
You know what's
Bengals.
up.
It's Bengals,
you know what's
not
up.
Bengals.
Why are you okay? Can we not focus on?
It drives me crazy when you cannot pronounce Bengals.
It's Bengals, damn it! It's Bengals, Grumpy. Christ Almighty.
Walk
And then
like
she
an
said,
Egyptian.
should go live later and share the horror stories and receipts while dealing with her baby daddy, BD. But she said she's got enough multiple videos that will end your career in one post.
So
I'll have my attorney at the Bengals facility in 2.5 seconds. You know what's up.
She thinks that this league, who didn't do anything to Tyreek Hill when his wife/girlfriend, baby mama came out and said, "Hey, you're punching our kid in the chest," and broke his arm. And
broke his ribs. He
didn't receive a single suspension, no fines or anything. She thinks that this league's going to do something. Remember, Jamar Chase is at the top of his career right now, and he's performing just like we've talked about multiple times with these other athletes in the NFL. I don't see anything happening.
There's a saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. That's what it sounds like to me. And, maybe Jamar Chase calls people bitches as a term of endearment.
Good gracious. I will tell you this. You're right, X, because he is at the top of his game. He would have to do something unbelievably and criminally stupid for the NFL to ever side against him, because they say, oh my God, this guy is a money-making machine for us right now.
Exactly.
How many Jamar Chase jerseys are we selling? How many eyes does he put on the TV screen? Oh, it makes it so great. We could push Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, the entire crew, and Jamar Chase is the best or second best wideout, because right with Jamar Chase too, we can push who's the best wideout in the NFL, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, Justin or Jamar, and we can advertise the hell out of that.
You know what? It hurts me when a relationship goes bad.
Yeah. What do you mean?
The poor Ambar and Jamar, their relationship isn't what it used to be. They used to be young lovers, and now all of a sudden things have gone bad. I don't like to hear that.
Oh, Grumpy.
I'd like to see them get back together, be successful.
I'm going to say that after their comments, I don't think they're getting back together anytime soon.
She took a shot at Chase's mother, too.
Oh.
Now, this does the more and more.
Watch out.
The more and more shit that you sling, the more it makes you sound like you are a scorned lover. You don't win points in the court of public opinion, to say the least, because she said, "You're not my child's grandmother. You're a witch who practices voodoo and black magic, and I rebuke you."
Oh boy!
I already told you before. You aren't allowed. You aren't allowed around me. You made my life miserable, and as a mother yourself, you should be ashamed.
Oh boy. I just don't want to see Jamar's mother come out and just call Ambar a skank, because then it'll really escalate.
Oh my God. So she started grabbing. Okay. I like how they didn't text each other, Jamar and Amber. They are just like, they Instagram message each other. Congrats. And she, I love how when she leaks these messages, she goes ahead and scratches out everything she says, but just leaves with what he says. It does. She really does sound like a scorned lover. Not a good look for either party.
She wants, okay, what does she want? Money. She wants money. She wants money.
She said you're not taking your responsibility.
More than just the child support.
She wants money because guess what? When her ass gets too big, she's not going to be able to be an Instagram model anymore.
No, I think that does make her. Oh my God. She said, this is how he used to talk to me when I was pregnant, shaking my head. Oh God. I can only imagine. God almighty.
Yeah, I don't like how she's scratching out the shit that she says. I bet you there's some vile comments in there. That's a bad look.
You put a puke emoji on one of them. So
you had that bitch up 21 hours. You at 3. More to go. Couldn't keep it up. Why you delete it? Scratch it off. Shit, no. Ain't mine till you can prove it. Talking about his kid. Bitch, I still wouldn't like you. The fuck? You happy because you got some nut? Oh my God. Jesus God. Not great.
Ooh, Jamar Chase, the man of the people.
I was about to say, not very couth, I'd say. He did do a throw up emoji. She said something.
Yeah, she must have put something pretty bad in there.
I assume she's like, this is your child after we did this and this. I know this is your kid. And he's probably like, no, I'm not. What they need to do is go on Steve Wilkos, Jerry Springer, one of those shows and determine who the father is. Jamar Chase, you are not the father. He starts high stepping around and shit.
That's Maury Povich. He did the paternity tests. I think they're all retired now. Maybe Wilkos is still doing the show. Jerry Springer's not. And I don't think Maury is either.
Bring back Maury for one more show. And then he said this, bitch, you do too much. I don't give a fuck about nothing. If you gotta have any type of feel towards me. And he laughed at something she said. Die in hell, leave me alone. Explicative. I don't want relations. F off.
You know what it sounds like to me? They're not getting back together anytime soon.
I would say that relationship is probably not one that's built on a solid foundation.
Yeah, I think it's over. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to fix that one up. What do you think, X?
Oh, I said that ship has sailed. It is long gone.
See, so now that we're playing the Kardashians, I do enjoy on this show playing the Kardashians a bit and just seeing what's going on. It's crazy shit. The drama's crazy.
Baby mama drama.
I gotta say, when I send people texts, I never say stuff like that to them.
I don't either.
Nope.
I usually keep it pretty PG in the text messages. I'm like, hey, what do you want for food? Or hey, how'd your day go? Something like that. It's nothing like that.
I'm never saying F you, F this, F your baby mama. None of that stuff. I don't do any of that.
Drew L said, by the way, a lot of changes in college basketball today. Jim Boeheim stepped away from Syracuse and Patrick Ewing was fired. Yep. And Dickie V, one more thing to add on. Dickie V was invited to do a March Madness game and he declined.
Well, he's kind of older.
He took a lot of a beating the last time he was on. People shit talking Dickie V, and I hate that because
I hate that too.
Dickie V, he was college announcing.
And
put a little English on it. Like that. I mean, he was college announcing for so many years.
He's a great ambassador for the sport.
Yes.
And, it's just the assholes who, they want to pick everything apart, kind of like we do, but in a different way, because, Dickie V's getting a little bit older. Okay. Yes. But he doesn't embarrass himself out there. He doesn't. He's had numerous bouts with cancer and all that stuff. All the work he's done with the V Foundation. I just remember watching one time him he used to speak to groups of young basketball players, doing inspirational speech and tell stories about Len Bias and how you don't want to do drugs. Just a class guy. Doing
humanitarian works. And
and you're dumping on him. Why? Because he's in his 80s and he's not as sharp as he used to be. And, he doesn't do many games now anyway, just a few.
Yep. I kind of wish you would have. I wish you would have done it. I don't know, sentimental reasons.
Yeah, I like Dickie V. And people say, oh, well, he's so over the top. I don't care.
the reason he's over the top, it's kind of like hamming it up a little bit. It's fantastic. I like it. I love it. Him being over the top about something that is just like average viewing experience is fantastic to watch.
I do want to touch on the other two gentlemen leaving. Jim Boeheim, if you listen to it, it sounded like he was maybe he was thinking about leaving, and Syracuse like, yeah, what do you think about next year, Jim? Well, I'm thinking about leaving. Oh, that's great because we got your replacement right here. And
they were miserable this year.
So no, they weren't. Okay, here's the thing. They were better than Georgetown.
Georgetown's miserable.
Georgetown was awful.
I mean, but you listen to Boeheim's press conference, and it sounds like he was kind of
1 foot in, 1 foot out,
gently nudged out the door. He's been there for 47 years. Now, going back to Patrick Ewing, 5 straight losing seasons, you shouldn't keep your job.
He's never had a winning season.
Well, he's a Georgetown legend. That's
the only reason he kept his job as long as he did.
But five losing seasons, one worse than the next, you had to go. Sorry.
But I'll say for Boeheim, I think this is his kid's last. I think this is the last one of his kids that's
Buddy
going
Boeheim.
to basketball, and this is their last year. So you know what I mean? I think that's another reason why he was thinking about leaving. And you know what? I don't blame Syracuse for getting a step up on it and getting somebody else to come in. I don't.
He's 78 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there comes. Hey, guess what? Jim Boeheim used to be a college basketball legend, or he's a college basketball legend. He used to be a fantastic college basketball coach, just like Coach K, just like Roy Williams, fantastic college basketball coaches. But guess what? There comes a time when you get to your late 70s, sometimes even maybe early 80s, where it's just time to step away from the game because you just don't have it anymore.
Yep. Yeah. I think he's second all time in wins behind Coach K.
Lou Lamoriello. Yes. Yes. I'm shocked that nobody else picked up on it. I was trying to paint it like your late 70s, early 80s.
That's all right. Go ahead. Go with it.
Goon there says, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let Tristan Jari bite. I like it. Shay Grumpy says, Escobar said when he was using Starling Marte's glove in left field today, said Marte didn't need it. If he needs more, he's a gold glover. Call Rawling. They'll send him 10. Oh, man, that's kind of cute there.
Okay.
Started using it, a little bit of banter around.
I'm interested what Shay thinks about the Martian for the Yankees.
Did you guys see that Trevor Zegras goal? Thank you for that there. Yep. And Shay said, TJ, you pronounce the J in Jari, not make it a Y, like Yari. It sounds like it would be Spanish. I don't know the way it's spelled.
You call him Yari sometimes.
I always call him Yari because that's how his name should be pronounced.
It's Jari. It's Jari. It's
Jari. Uh-huh.
Jari.
Yari was good tonight till the end, Grumpster.
Yeah, until it mattered. That's what he does. He shits the bed at the end of games against every game. It's what he does.
D-Cut said the puck actually left the ice. It hit the inside of the open Penguins door. Then the Islanders should have challenged.
Yep.
They literally gave him like close to 45 seconds to a minute to challenge it if they wanted to, where it's like they're showing replays. It's like, halt the play right now. I'm like, you should know, right? If the video, that's your job as a video crew expert. That's what you literally watch the game, see if there's any infractions committed, and right, you got to be Johnny on the spot. No, the rule book says off the skate, the fashion goal was clean. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I told Grumpy that it looked like there was an amendment to the rule. The rule originally said a kicking motion, then it said a kicking motion off the skate or foot. Yeah, so that's where it was in. Same reason why you can head a puck in, or you can hit a goal in with your hand, I guess. And let's keep on looking. We better not lay an egg against Washington, says Paul.
No way. Washington sucks.
D-Cut, you're right. The Foolers in Toronto were busy watching reruns of The Love Boat rather than actually pressing the buzzer.
The Love Boat. Something exciting and new for you.
What a films. TJ, football is done. Let's talk Celtics. Right, Grumpy?
Celtics, they were great all year. I don't think they're tough enough internally to win. You let the Knicks beat you. How bad are you? Let the Knicks beat you.
If you look at their last few games, right? They've got
They're 11 and 9.
Beat by the Cavaliers in overtime. Beat by the Cavs in overtime. Beat by the Knicks. Beat by the Nets. Then they Then they lost the freaking Knicks. They had a little bit of a rough streak there. What did they lose? Like
they're 11 and 9 in their last 20 games.
Not good.
Not good.
Average. And for a team that is as dominant as they were last year, making it to the finals and how great they are, you expect more than average.
Yeah.
TJ criticizing Lamar Jackson for not hitting a target 40 yards away when he can barely read. Hold on. Okay. I love how that's always everything. Barely read. Okay. It'd be like saying TJ criticizing a guy because he can't bench press this because he can barely read. I guess that's just a running joke. But yeah, I'm expecting a quarterback, a professional, to be able to freaking thread the needle and to be able to hit a target 40 yards away. It's about the size of a fucking living room.
He performs better under pressure. I'm telling you. He needs somebody who are chasing him. That's what
Ask the Jets how he performed in game 1 this year. 2 75-yard touchdown passes.
So just
on target.
Oh, stop. My God.
I'm just saying, if you're a quarterback needy team and you're just ignoring this guy, something's fishy. Something's fishy.
Yeah. And Shay, I saw the rules there where they made the amendment where it said it has to be like the kicking motion off the foot of the skate. Thank you for sending that to us. I remember seeing that, but it was like, here's the thing. I do know that the Buffalo coach said it was a controversial call. I think it was somewhat controversial. It was one that could go your way, might not go your way. You could honestly, I wouldn't have been shocked if it was ruled either which way, but Islander fans, if it happened to us, I would be pissed if that happened to us. So I kind of like,
For me, I'm just surprised they overruled it.
That's what I'm saying, because I was shocked by that too. If it was called a good goal on the ice and they went to the review, it would have been like, yeah, it's got to stay good goal. And if it was a non-goal on the ice and it didn't stay non-goal, I could see why people would have been angry. Drew L said if Zegras did that move under Barry Trotz, he would have been benched even if he did score.
If he played for the Islanders under Barry Trotz, he wouldn't even have made the NHL yet. Still be in the minors.
Do you remember that play where they did like the pass behind the net pass, the midair knockdown of the puck, the connection like a baseball swing?
Yep.
That play alone would have probably earned Zegras a spot in the AHL for Bridgeport if he would have done that. Like, hey, your first game up in the NHL, send him back down to Bridgeport. This is the no fun team. There's no fun to be had on this team. Just boring, grinded out, gritty hockey. No fun. The Oakland Raiders. What do they used to say about the Raiders? The Raiders are a wintering storm.
The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Hold on, I got to pull that up here.
Wasn't around what it was.
Just play it. Just play it.
I'm trying to get it pulled up. Keep singing it, damn it. Holy shit. As I'm trying to pull it up, I need you to do. God,
okay, I'm going to read the next. I'm going to read a few comments and pull it up.
What the fuck?
Drew says, yeah, Clemson won. They're destroying NC State now. Waterfilm says Shea is smarter than the NHL refs, No surprise. D-Cut says, attempt to read the comments, you bald-headed jerk. I think he's talking about you, TJ. Joe C says, I do like Lafreniere, but I wish the Rangers had taken Zegras instead. Absolutely.
Here it is, Grump. Here
All
it
right.
is. Full stop, Grumpy.
Louder.
The talking part.
Hold on, it's coming up in a second. X, give it a second here, huh?
Louder.
Something much louder.
I'm almost positive it does not come back. You missed it.
I think it starts right at the beginning. You skipped it. No, it's at the beginning.
Mitchell, come on.
All the way.
You're wrong. This one just doesn't have the freaking music with
Oh,
it.
what a failure.
Look up the autumn wind is a raider.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now my
God.
I
Let
swear.
me get back to the comments. You could continue
Grumpy,
playing.
you
You
miserable.
can continue playing Jerry
bastards.
Mitchell. You can continue playing Jerry Mitchell from 3 o'clock high. Okay.
That was 5 o'clock high.
It's 3
We see a lot of
o'clock.
things. We see a lot of comments about the NHL rule book. I'm not getting into that. Sorry. Alexander says, so sick of this freaking media talking so much crap about. I love the Islanders are shutting everyone up. Well, you're going to continue to hear that because they're not exciting to watch.
We've not been exciting to watch for years. That's why we're going to get that rep, because we're still the same. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Hold on a second, Grumpy. Here it is. And this is, I mean, you've got it here. Oh, look at this. We've got the old throwback here, Grumpy.
The wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash with a silver hat
on his head
and a
bristling black mustache.
He growls as he storms the country, villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun.
Just for fun.
He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
They don't do that nowadays. I mean, that's just great.
It's great.
It's great all the way around.
They've taken away the things that made before the NFL was 24/7, they would have a highlight show, and they would have all those songs that they made. I even got the album of the songs, and it was so great just listening to those songs, and always the Raiders song, always great. Like there's one called "The Lineman," which is like one of my favorite NFL songs. It's called "The Lineman." I don't know if you could bring it up, TJ, but it's just great. I just love it. It's fantastic.
I'm not a Raiders fan, but listening to that gets me hyped for the Raiders.
Yes, doesn't it? That's why Derek Carr is gone. He wasn't pillaging.
Oh my God!
Just for fun.
This fucking song, Grumpy. Steven said, "I remember when the Steelers used to pound the piss out of the Raiders." He said, "Oh God, here it is. This freaking song. My God, Grumpy. When do the words come up?"
Yeah,
in SpongeBob.
Louder.
Really loud, Grump.
They got a wish. Grumpy's dancing.
What the hell? How about when he goes?
In case anyone was wondering, Grumpy has the ability to be entire orchestra.
I mean, I tell you what.
I just want you to keep singing there.
I just love. There was no songs. There was no words. I just love that song, man. That song gets me pumped up just listening to that song.
And that doesn't do that song. Does not do for me. That's for sure.
That's a great song.
That song doesn't do it for me the same way. I guess it does for you, Grumpy.
It's a great song.
There's a whole bunch of these.
Those were great songs. Those were absolutely great songs. The NFL wrote their own songs for their highlight shows. It was tremendous. Every week.
Well, the reason why. Well, here's the thing. The reason why those have such strong connections and memories were because there was not as much coverage of the NFL, and not everything was at the fingertips like it is now. You'll never have that same feeling at all. It doesn't matter. They could have something that's way better than that. Nobody will ever have that.
There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that.
Okay.
Telex.
Grumpy knows.
Drew L says,
Dominguez. It's Jason Dominguez is the Martian.
And Rob G says Sorokin is the man. Drew L says here, in the words of TJ, Piazza.
Your old Piazza.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see here. We're seeing a lot about the puck out of bounds or out of play there, hitting off the door. Okay. TJ and Grumpy, do you remember the Mata versus Piazza brawl in spring training?
I do not remember. It's Moda. I do not remember that brawl.
I was about to say we're holding off on the fan fights and brawls because for whatever reason they age restrict every single video that has a
the Piazza Roger Clemens fight. Was that the broken?
That was in the World Series.
It wasn't even really a fight. It was just like a tussle. That bastard Roger Clemens threw it at Piazza. That son of a bitch. Piazza, the next at bat, just should as they were changing in between dugouts once he was out, he should have taken that bat and teed off on freaking Clemens' head and busted his nose wide open.
Roger Clemens should have hit him with a pitch.
He did. He tried to hit him with a freaking baseball bat. Damn it!
Bat. The bat was broken. He was just trying to move it off the field to play.
As Piazza was walking down the first,
this is a sharp object. Better get this out of the field.
He wants someone to get injured. Just trying to get it out of the way.
You know what they should have done? As soon as they should have just kept pegging when they were down, just kept pegging every single Yankee that stepped up the plate. Boom, right to the head. Boom, every single pitch. Boom, right to the
how it would have sounded.
Face.
Boom,
boom. Yeah, and what they should have done was they should have been like, "Hey, I'm walking down," and just gone ahead and quick fire, just went freaking nailed that son of a bitch right in the head. Anyway, what's the combination? What a combination! Hollywood Brown's writing and TJ's reading.
Wow, you thought it would balance out and it would be coherent, but no, it was even worse.
It's awful. I could barely read that crap. I was like, what is going on here? I could barely read the comments to begin with.
Frank has a comment that it's okay. It's technically not perfect. This is it. Tim Tebow is the suckiest suck to ever suck. There's a lot of sucking going on there.
Oh, nailed it. Gideon said, under what circumstances is it acceptable for a grown-up to wear a bib? I'll give you the examples here, and I'll let Grumpy answer this afterward. If you have a huge meal, I'm talking about like lobster, freaking like a seafood tower, because you're busting things open, you're gonna have shit flying all over the place. Seafood towers, and if you're eating a lot of steak and a huge meal, we're just like, you're just like leaning back.
Every day for TJ. Okay.
Thank you, X. That's the answer.
I have my answer.
What's your answer, X?
Going to the dentist.
Yeah, I guess that's a bib. Yeah, sure.
I like your other answer. Anytime TJ sits down to a meal.
But I'll say going to the dentist is my legitimate answer.
Okay. Anytime TJ sits down to a meal is my answer.
Yep.
D-cut, Grumpy.
Did you guys talk about the $30 million lawsuit the Tigers X brought against him? Oh, Tiger Woods X.
Yes. Yeah. Did you see about that? I'll tell you really quickly what happened. I'm going to use the restroom.
Which X is it?
It's the most recent X.
Ellen
he said they were going to go. Okay, Grumpy, you could pull it up in a second. But what happened was before I went to the bathroom, he told her they were going to go on a vacation together, and he dropped her off at the airport. And then there was no trip on vacation. She went to come back home. He had changed the locks and kicked her ass out of the house and left all of her stuff out of the house as she was getting ready to go on this vacation that he had set up. And so now she's bringing a $30 million lawsuit together. I was like, holy crap, that's a nuts story. Tiger Woods, crazy. Maybe not a great guy. It doesn't seem like a great guy. Fantastic golfer. Doesn't seem like a great guy, though.
Yeah, so what she's suing him, she wants to have the non-disclosure agreement nullified. That's what she wants. And sorry, honey, you signed it. That's just the way it is. I mean, they have these agreements for a reason. If you didn't sign it, you do whatever you want. It's, again, woman scorned. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Sorry.
My question, is this seriously TJ's second time going to the bathroom?
Oh, please, usually 3-4 times. Yes.
God.
Paolo C says, Frank, TJ and Grumpy don't look very excited that the Islanders came back in the third to win a big game. I guess it's not the Never Say Die podcast. That's correct. Because we have a lot of other things to talk about, so we can't talk all Islanders today. And they won. I knew they were going to win. I knew they were going to win. Going into today, I knew they were going to win. Tristan Jarry was in goal. That's a W. That's a W. I'm not surprised at all they won. Even if they were 2 goals down with 40 seconds left, Jarry would have spit the bit and they would have lost. I knew that was happening. X, did I not call you up with like 8 minutes ago? I said, they're going to, yes. I said, Tristan Jarry's going to crap the bed. Did I not say that?
You did.
I've seen this guy enough to know what he's all about. Not surprised at all. Alexander says, oh, wait, here we go. Gosh, everyone just, Drew says, gosh, everyone just trying to ruin careers because they're jealous. Leave us people alone. I agree. Alexander says, TJ, he actually was drinking club soda. They backed him and said he wasn't drunk. He said he had been drinking, though, at the bar, which kudos to him. He didn't, he didn't come off and paint himself as an angel. Michael Irvin. What do you say about that, X?
No, I agree. I mean, I don't think he did anything wrong, but I think it was good of him to come. I mean, the only thing that could happen by you not by saying, "Oh no, I wasn't drinking," no, that's a lie. Nothing but bad things can happen from that.
Well, and maybe he was at that moment drinking club soda, but he was definitely drinking that night, I would assume.
He's at a bar.
Yeah. I'm about to say that's what you do at the bar. Most people don't go to the bar to drink club soda. And everybody is trying to act like a victim nowadays. Shit is insane.
Absolutely.
Well, Grumpy does go to the bar to drink grape drink.
Oh, Grumpy drinks grape drink everywhere.
I can't remember the last time I went to a bar.
Frank says, Vinny Vidi Vicky. Does TJ know what that is? No. Venevedi Vici? I don't know what, is that what it is? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Grumpy, do you know what that is?
I think he spelled it is Venevedi Vici. Yes.
What is that anyway? I don't know what that is either.
It's just, I've heard the saying. I don't know the history behind it.
Venevedi Vici. Huh.
No.
Policy said, read my comments, please. I don't care about Mike Piazza. Everybody loves Mike Piazza. Oh, man. I like Gino as a person. I'm not a fan of his contract. That's all I'll say. Ryan Tannehill, take notes. Ryan Tannehill's finished.
Yep. He was never any good. He was never any good.
He had 1 year where he threw for 40 touchdowns, and that was just like an outlier in his career.
That was the Derrick Henry was running for 2,500 yards a year.
Yep. What a film saying, TJ, if you're going to carry on with muscle shirts, you need a badass tattoo on your shoulder. It will distract the viewers from seeing your chest and things we don't want to see. No, I'm not getting a badass tattoo on my shoulder. No.
The Islanders on there, the fisherman.
Yeah, never say die. The Islanders. Islanders. So even when I'm getting pissed off at them, I'll say, look at my tattoo. You can never question my faith. You think I'm a Ranger fan? Look at my Islander tattoo.
I'm too much of a weenie to get tattoos.
Blue and orange. Tattoo. I've got no reason to get a tattoo. I don't. Does it look like I'm a very artistic person at all?
No.
Artistic.
So would it be in my character to say I want to put art on my body? I don't even have art at my house. So no, I don't think I have any. The only art that's in our house is by the lovely Paige that the lovely Paige had picked out. I don't like art. Doesn't appeal to me. Sorry.
What did you have to say about that, X?
Well, I was going to say you do like those artistic soccer cards, though.
Hey, I do like soccer cards for sure. I like
their works of art. I'm sorry I asked you to comment. Then get to the next comment.
You should know X was going to take it down a hole. They need to be. TJ shoulders and forehead look the same.
Oh, damn.
Jesus Christ. Soon we'll be talking Sweet 16, TJ. Yeah, we'll be talking this weekend. We'll be talking about a little college basketball. I mean, once the conference tournaments are over, we're going to have a feeling, and it's going to be like Selection Sunday.
Yep.
I'm going to be pumped about Selection Sunday. Yep. Trust me, we're going to have some teams that deserve to make the tournament that were stripped of their right to play because they didn't make it in. We'll have some teams who are like, how the fuck did this team make it in?
There is no way that North Carolina should make the tournament. No way.
12? What, they have 12 or 13 losses already?
Well, yeah, they have 13 losses, but they only beat one top-level team, which was Virginia a couple of weeks ago. I think they were 1-9 against teams that were, considered, I don't know, some type of ranking.
No, the University of Pittsburgh beat them. Pittsburgh beat, they beat them.
I don't think Pittsburgh's going to make tournament.
They beat Virginia, Miami. What are you talking about?
They're 22 and what, 12?
22 and 11.
Okay. They got blown out today by Duke. Blown out. That doesn't look good.
Duke's a top 25 team.
I don't think Duke's a top 25 team.
They're in the top 25.
Top 25.
Yes, they are. Pittsburgh was in the top 25 last week until they lost 2 games. Pittsburgh down the stretch is 1-1, lost 3. That doesn't get you eliminated from the tournament.
You keep forgetting that they have so many of these little crappy tournaments where you put, the Joe Schmoes,
and Siena's going to make it in. Yeah. the Big Sky Conference and all this other shit like that gets in.
And
I kind of like that about the tournament, though.
I don't think the ACC is going to have a whole lot of teams this year.
Okay, well, they did win the first round game against Georgia Tech, and they lost their second round. So they went 1-1 in the tournament.
They got obliterated in their second round game. Obliterated.
Yeah, okay, because
blown off the planet.
Duke didn't play the day before. Duke was well rested. Pittsburgh was not.
That's what happens. That's why you got to do well in the regular season.
Or maybe it's just Duke has more talent than Pitt does.
Oh,
I
don't think Duke's that good either.
I don't think
Pittsburgh's a better team than Duke. Pittsburgh's
not a better team than Duke.
They are.
They just showed today.
Look at the game they played. Look at the game they played earlier on this season.
They just showed it today that they're not a better team than Duke.
Pittsburgh was tired. They just played the day before.
Oh
they were tired. Duke was well rested. Pittsburgh realized a big game the day before.
All Pitt had to do was win a game last week. Duke's getting hot at the right time. I don't think they're good enough, but they're certainly better than they were 4 weeks ago.
They're a team of all freshmen.
Well, Jeremy Roach, I think, is a sophomore.
Well, okay. What I'm saying is, a majority of the players on their team are freshmen.
Very young, very young.
Duke blows. Pitt's amazing.
They play more together. They build up chemistry. They become a better team as the year goes on.
Shay says here, WWE may be worse than football. Well, Shay, it's a fantastic. We've talked about this show on anal beads for chess. We talked about people going ahead and putting a fake weights in fishing tournament. We talk anything and everything sports on this show. Literally anything and everything. We talk about crazy sports stuff. But when there's a lot of football and all the other stories kind of sit on the wayside, they don't get the coverage they deserve. So it's just like, we're not going to know about it as well. I scour the internet every single Thursday looking for stories.
Are you going to pull up the Jake Paul stuff with Floyd?
No.
Oh, I was going to say I did not see that.
What are films?
TJ, you're a football fanatic. Just admit it and move on to women's curling. It's great and fully woman and full of pretty women. Oh, Canada, LOL. I love watching curling.
Drew L says here, WWE is the Oscars version of real wrestling. WWF was insane, says Frank. I'd rather watch bull riding and monster truck events than WWE. Bull riding's pretty cool. I was about to say bull riding's not bad. I kind of enjoy that too. Drew L says it sounds like they're dying to be in the Islanders Never Say Die Fantasy Football League next season. That does sound like Shay would be into that. So you want a free win team. I take a fantasy class in the summer, and all we did was fantasy football. So I learned a little bit. Okay, that's dangerous. She's dangerous, and is what that means. DJ Daniel Jones getting $160 million, $42 million guaranteed. It made me want to puke. Horrible, just horrible. Thomas, same feeling.
$82 million guaranteed, not 42.
It makes me want to throw up too. By the way, Kaprizov is out for like a month with the injury. You're going to see Minnesota struggle. They're without their best player. They're going to struggle. I was going to jump all over that tonight, or all over you tonight, Grumpy, when the Islanders are losing tonight. But Grumpy knows best.
I know Tristan Jarry.
The Kraken tied the Ottawa Senators 3-3.
They'll lose. The Senators are getting ready to go on their losing streak. They'll be out.
Norman Rockwell meme, Drew says here.
Not Roxwell, Rockwell.
God damn. Frank says here, amazing that they're playing better without Barzal. I love Barzal, but to me, if he does less with the puck, they'll probably do more, if that makes any sense at all.
They've changed the style of play. They've gone back to the trot system.
Back to unbelievably boring hockey.
Yep.
That beats really shitty teams.
And you can beat crappy teams.
Does not beat good teams.
Right. You're not going to beat good teams. You're going to beat the teams you should beat, the teams below you.
All year long, we played pretty decent against good teams and shitty against all the bad teams. But now we go back, and that was playing Lane Lambert, high-flying offensive style. But now we went back to the play defense, button-up style. We beat all the mediocre to bad teams, and we're going to get our asses destroyed by the good teams. That's just how that system works. And, hey, we got a guy who's a first-time head coach. That's all I'm going to say. TJ knows a ton about football. You could easily do a football podcast. Yeah, thank you there. Thank you, thank you, Sean. But I'm like, I don't know. This allows us to be.
This is almost like that too.
Stephen Porter says, "Be honest, TJ. Why do you think Amber spells her name the way she does? Or maybe it's just Amber. I really don't know.
It's Amber.
No, okay, it's spelled that way, but it could be Amber. That's
I'm
all.
going to pronounce it as it's actually written.
I've met people who had a Brittany. The only reason I'm saying is I led a lady named Brittany is how I would have pronounced it, but it was Brittany Davis because she had an E in there. She says, no, it's spelled Brittany, but she said the name was pronounced Brittany. So I'm like, well, I don't know how it's pronounced. So
I don't care what they say. I'm going to spell it. I'm going to read it as written.
Okay.
That's why you have problems with comments. You keep on trying to interpret words that aren't there. You change definitions of words. I don't know. I'm going to call it. I'm going to read it as written. What a film says Grumpy could do a podcast about anything and make it fun. Thank you, Woody.
Yeah, Grumpy. Keep out of breath over there, Grumpy.
Drew says sounds like Jamar's baby mama is a bit rah angry.
That's why I wasn't going to let you read it because you don't know how to read that comment. So I'll let you know which one you read.
Read that comment.
Oh, I have no idea. It just sounds like Jamar's baby mama is a bit rah angry.
Rah angry.
That's what I just said.
You said it with a question mark.
I didn't say
raw angry. Like you didn't know what the hell that was.
Ridiculous.
It was just mentioned earlier today's show when I was going to be raw angry over Daniel Jones signing. Hey guys, what about the fights? Fan fights. If somebody sends us one, maybe we'll pop it up. I would try not to do them. We need to do like as we mentioned on the other show. We're just going to do a dump where it's one day. It's just an all fan fight show. So that one's going to get age restricted. So we're fine as long as we can't have every video being age restricted because like it doesn't allow us to get the word out to the masses. If you have to be signed into YouTube and being over the age of 18 years old, you're limiting yourself to the audience you could have that people maybe sometimes aren't even signed in listening. So, when you send it to, we're going to just make an archive and we'll just go through one podcast. It'll be a fan fight extravaganza.
Fan fight extravaganza.
Tristan Yari pulled an Amber Heard. He shit the bed.
Good
gracious. Paul C said in all 3 games we beat Pittsburgh. We're all comebacks in each game. Yeah, we overcame 2-goal deficits in the third period every game.
Every single game because their goalies are horrible.
Yep. Shay Grumpy.
I would not have been angry if it was the other way around because it was a good goal according to the rule book. Would I be annoyed? Sure, but not mad or argue. It shouldn't be a goal.
Most fans would, though.
You're better than
most fans. You're better than most fans, Shay. I like that.
If that was a Stanley Cup winning goal, I'm going to tell you what, everyone would be pissed.
I would be arguing about it.
He absolutely directed that in with his knee. Absolutely.
I don't care how the rules are written. That's what actually happened. Absolutely, I'd be doing that.
Yep.
Drew L. Grumpy. Get some chemistry.
Knicks are on a 9-game win streak, and the last one was against Boston. Knicks will be at least the 5 seed, if not higher. Okay. Nothing like John Facenda. He was the voice of the NFL for a long, long time. Drew says, honestly, the new Raiders theme song should be F the Police by NWA. I disagree.
God. Here you go, Grumpy.
Yeah. What a film says, yeah, NFL Films has always been amazing. Absolutely. Steve Sable, God rest his soul, he's dead, did a great job with NFL Films. He did. His dad, Ed Sable, was the original guy who did that.
What a film's there, Grumpy.
Machado threw a bat off a swing, Orioles. Not a cool thing to do.
And Shay there, Grump.
The Mets did not have the pitch clock today and yesterday. After watching today's game, I enjoyed the pitch clock a bit more. It makes the games faster. And the MLB needed that. Absolutely needed it. I'm all for the pitch clock, what a film says. They can give a pitcher a 20-second timeout per inning.
Okay, or something like that. Allowed to guess if they're getting rattled or something like that, they're getting the snot kicked out of them.
All a pitcher has to do is throw over to first base. I was thinking about that today. If it gets too close, I'm going to throw over to first base because they should
on base.
They should have a clock.
Well,
what
is it considered if there is nobody on base and you throw over?
Yeah, well, you can't do that. How many guys are shook up when nobody's on base?
If you just gave up a home run, or you just gave up back-to-back or back-to-back home runs, that happens sometimes.
Well, it's time to get the bullpen in the game. Then
they're still warming somebody up. You can't go ahead and say, "Okay, I got to get 20 seconds." I'll tell you one thing: it's going to be tougher to get the bullpen warmed up too, because remember, when you were getting rattled or getting hit, you could always go ahead and kind of draw out a little bit until your pitcher was ready. Now there is none of that shit.
Well, here's my thing. What happens when pitchers take advantage of that? thrown over
They're
to
going to
first.
try to find some way.
They will. They absolutely will. Okay, now you know what? I'm just going to throw over to first 5 times until I get the right pitch call that I want. I'm just going to continue to throw over to first base.
That's possible.
Thomas Amadeo said, it means I came, I saw, I conquered. That's right. Ancient Roman saying, Veni Vidi Vici. That's right. Thank you, Thomas. Thomas Amadeo. Thank you. And Driel said, I just want to say, rest in the people who have parents who disown you if you had to chat, or
if anyone of the chat got a tattoo.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty funny, TJ. You're no artist. Yeah, I'm not. Okay. Basketball is the worst sport. When will you guys talk about baseball for once?
As soon as the season starts, we talk about, the pitch clock, but as soon as the season starts, we'll definitely be talking more baseball.
Yep. And What a Film said, great show tonight, guys. Thanks for bringing the love. Go Islanders. Thanks there, What a Films. Agreed. Great show from the big 3. Hit the thumbs up. That's right. Hit the thumbs up. And he says, talk golf. It's underrated. Arnold Palmer Invitational had an exciting end to the tournament.
Actually, the LIV has brought about some changes in the PGA, which I heard today. They're thinking about having no cut tournaments and stuff like that, where everyone's going to get a little bit of money. That's what the LIV has done. Seeing guys jump ship like that, making that kind of money.
That's right. Phil Mickelson left.
Yep.
I think he's the highest paid golfer.
Yeah, and I mean, a bunch of guys left for that. Yeah. And I think it's hurt the PGA, and they had to make changes. They were like adamant, we weren't going to do anything. We're going to do it our way. Yeah, until you lose too many people. Peacock says the China documentary was great. Went from DX to suicide. Very sad ending. Yeah, that was good. I watched it last week. A real tragic story for that girl. I felt bad for her.
Oh, she killed herself. She
didn't kill herself. She had like a drug overdose.
Oh,
she
was kind of
like,
if I remember, with a wrestler, she was kind of a little bit more butchy or like strong wrestler.
Yeah. She went, and then she was not an attractive girl. She wound up having her jaw like trimmed down to make her look more feminine. She was in Playboy. Then she kind of overplayed her hand a little bit. She thought that she should be paid like all the guys. Sorry, as popular as you were not like the big guys in the W, not like The Rock and Stone Cold and Undertaker and guys like that. So she left, and then she wound up shooting pornos, and it was just, I felt bad for her. She had serious drug problem after she left. Shame.
Shay said, rodeos are so fun. And hey, y'all, rodeo people are amazing.
It's funny.
Right.
Have they banned rodeos in this country?
No, they're still going on. It's called PBR.
Yep.
Professional bull riding.
Yep. And Frank says here, the Islanders are not boring. All these games are exciting, TJ. Don't spread fake news.
We're not an exciting team to watch.
No.
And if we play against another boring team, go ahead, TJ.
Just saying it's exciting for us because we're a fan of the team. But if you're just a third party watching the game, you're not saying I must turn on, like you say with the Oilers. You don't say that about the Minnesota Wild. Let me watch every Minnesota Wild game because they play an exciting brand of hockey. We're the same way.
And that's why when we played Minnesota, it was insufferable. That game was insufferable, hard to watch.
Grumpy, what are your thoughts on the new ladies this season? The
Real Housewives of New Jersey. I think you're seeing, I think the Gorgas are going to be the bad guys this year. They brought in, some girl who's had like serious nose surgery. Her husband looks like he doesn't have a jaw, so he's got the beard on there. The other girl, they just had a party for her 3-year-old or 4-year-old. She's a mouthy kid. Just those parties are all kind of cringy. But I'm enjoying it so far. The person I don't like the most is Marge. I think she's horrible.
What a film saying, I got to party with bull riders and clowns one night. They outdrank me. We were up at 6, they were up at 6, ready to go. Tough beat.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Amadeo said the $82 million guarantee. Geez, Barkley had a career year, and all Jones really did was run. Not worth it. RG3 vibes. Shay said you can only throw over twice now when somebody's on base. Okay. So it would be a waste.
See, I don't like that rule because that means
Well, hey, once it's over twice, time for me to get ready to.
Exactly. You get the
You can
biggest.
go
lead.
halfway down to first base then. Yeah, go ahead. You can't throw over.
Yeah.
Grumpy, have some secret information. I found out Andy Francis used mayo as his coffee creamer.
Hideous.
And plus the league lost money. Phil has been horrendous at LIV and looks depressed. He has been so bad it makes Bailey look like Barzal.
They have a TV contract though, and people are watching. I mean, like I said, it's hurt the PGA. Absolutely hurt the PGA.
Got big names left.
Yeah, because if somebody says, okay, you're going to make $1 million or $2 million just for showing up to a tournament, who wouldn't do that?
And here's the thing too. When you watch golf, you don't watch to say, "Ooh, I want to watch because of the course. I love the course." Very rarely is that the case. You watch because I love. Well, that's just said very rarely. It's more, "Oh, I love watching Bubba," or "I love watching Phil Mickelson. I love watching this particular golfer. That's why I will watch this event." It's not because, "Ooh, the pin is going to be set up on a different spot this year, and I'm so excited about that." It's not why you watch golf.
I mean, for me, the only tournaments I watch, and I don't even watch them the whole way, usually the last day, I watch the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the British Open. That's it. No other ones.
She said, "Good night, everybody. I got class tomorrow, and my new oven is coming, so I can actually cook. I have to be up early." Congratulations, Shay. Glad you're going to get that all done. Drew says here, "Wait. Since when did Grumpy watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey?"
I've always watched. That's the only one I'll watch. Me and the warden watched that one. So I was back. I remember when Teresa was flipping tables. Prostitution whore engaged 19 times. 19 times.
Oh, God.
It was good.
Frank says, "Good night, Shay. Me too. I'm falling asleep. Good night, all you guys. Thank you. TJ, Grumpy Old Man, and Sunex. Great show. Thank you, Frank, for tuning in." And D-Cut says, "Sunex is fading out late again, like the Penguins."
Got to build up his stamina.
I know.
Man, they just got a TV deal in ratings. It was a total joke. The LIV, the best guys, are on the downside of their career.
True.
Yep.
That's how it starts. So you get the guys on the downside, then you get to the guys on the big side, and it becomes more mainstream. And then, hey, you're on the way. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the end, 3 hours in at the end of our show today. First off, if you're new to this channel and you stuck around this long, you got to make sure you do a few things. You got to subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter to make sure you don't miss out on any of the shows. We go live every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But what do you want to say, Grumpy Old Man, before we wrap things up today?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From TJ, the Grumpy Old Man, at Sunex.
Sunex, what do you want to say before we wrap things up?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. Tomorrow's Friday, and then we got a Selection Sunday. So we'll have a big podcast on Sunday.
Absolutely.
College hoops.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the show. We'll be with you guys live this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, enjoy your Friday. Capture the day. Get off to a great start of the weekend. D-Cut has one more comment, Grumpy. "I kind of miss Jacqueline on the show, Grump."
Okay, yeah. I mean, Jacqueline was good. I thought she was going to come back when they did the previews for this season. I'm like, man, is Jacqueline coming back? Because they showed a lot of her. Maybe she'll be a guest at the end.
But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you guys this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And thank you, Grumpy and Sunex.
My pleasure.